live.
Hello.
The timing was impeccable. Just immediately. Right. Okay.
I just hope it didn't open with what I said, because then we'll be instantly demonetized.
Am I heck? Probably was, but who cares? Oh well. Anyway.
Right.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Hi.
Thanks for bearing with us. It opened with hello. Good, I think.
Oh.
Excellent. Right.
You had me at hello.
Yeah. Hello, Spud Nugget. By the way, Spud Nugget, got the coolers. Almost certainly won't be looking at them today.
In any sort of serious sense. I want to just look at them and go, aha.
Yeah, we might unpack them and be like, yes, these are broken coolers. But yeah, that will be the extent of it.
Yes.
Yeah, the only other thing that we might do is just because we need to prepare for that a bit more. We want to sort of have a look at them, make sure we've got something that we can mount them to, that kind of thing. And I just haven't done any prep work on that yet. Welcome on in, everyone. Why does Caradog's hair colour change every damn week? We're on a different camera to normal.
Yes.
So yeah.
I have now been awake for 2 hours.
Also that. Yes, right.
But why does it change colour? I've no idea. I genuinely do nothing with my hair. Like, nothing. I showered today. You know, be thankful.
Yeah. You do look nice and fluffy, so, you know.
Absolutely.
The Boots box is a thing that we need to unbox that I forgot to unbox last week. It does not have boots in it. It has stuff and things. It has, I believe, 3D printed things in it. I just don't know of what. So we'll do this now before I forget.
Absolutely. Is that hard drive anything to do with us?
No. So I will put it in the hard drivery. These SSDs, also in the SSDery. That's where the SSDs live now. It's been agreed. We're going for a slightly different desk layout this week. We've got 2 monitors up on the desk now, and no laptop. The important thing now is that this monitor is directly connected to the Stream PC with a mouse and keyboard directly connected to the Stream PC, whereas normally I have a laptop and I'm remote desktoping. So as a result of this, we have a bigger screen and I have better control of the bench cam and stuff like that. So that should make things easier for me to manage the stream now. So yes. Hello, Lead Farmer. You're glad you didn't miss 2 guys telegraph telephony. What was the other one as well that I think Chris came up with? 2 gentlemen transgress something or other.
I don't know.
Okay, I forget.
I was going to say I was amazed it was suitable for repetition.
Yeah, quite so. Oh well. Right. Anyway, let's. I'm going to get on with getting this done. Otherwise, I'll get distracted and forget.
Again.
Let's see. Okay, right, so this is a gift from Nikolai, who anyone who's a regular on the Discord will have seen him about, and he does 3D printing stuff. So I'm going to quickly just read this out because it's a cool note. So to Graham and Caradog, first off, I'd like to say thank you for an awesome YouTube channel. Really enjoy watching your videos and weekend live streams of 2 Guys Talk Tech. Keep up with the awesome work. You both do a fantastic job. Stumbled across your channel 18 months ago when my Dell died on me. Found one of your videos about laptop shorts and thoroughly enjoyed the videos. Let's see. It's quite a long note, by the way. So you won't see me in live chat during the streams. I tend to watch the VOD back, so probably won't be in the chat. So hello, people who are watching the VOD.
Hello, VOD watchers.
And would like to show my appreciation for everything you and Caradog do by making you guys a little something. Been wanting to create something for you guys quite some time. Made several Adamant IT themed animations, but never thought they would be good enough. Then yes. So a few gifts in the form of various 3D prints. Hope you like them and sincerely hope that you and Caradog approve of the caricatures. Caricatures, thank you. I've also included a few feet for you to attach to the prints. Okay. So I think these are going to be like little figurine type things. Please feel free to open on or off stream. Don't mind either way. Excellent. Keep up the great work. I will enjoy listening to your conversations in English. Best wishes and regards. Thank you very much, Nick. So, VOD watchers sounds creepy. Yes, our VOD watchers, those who watch. I didn't think there'd be this much. Okay, we've got that. These are gift wrapped.
Oh no. None of those are useful to me. Oh dear.
Fear. Okay.
No one will be able to tell.
Good. Right.
I have thought of what would be a significantly easier option for some of this.
Yes.
But it wouldn't involve the motherboards. It's just using a laptop.
Yeah, for the because for the audio interfaces. Yeah. We kind of need both really because.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to that in just a moment. I'll just quickly get this done. Not that I'm trying to rush through it, but like forgot about it last week, so I'm like, I'm gonna heckin' just open these so I don't forget, basically. So
I'm going to
yes,
start on this
I
one.
was going to say this is very well wrapped tissue paper, so I have. Okay, it's a 3D printed thing.
It's a circle.
It's a cylinder. Oh, that's neat. Okay, right.
Oh, there's.
They're okay. These are little adamant IT tags. So,
Oh.
You got coasters there. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Okay, hang on a sec. Let's get the bench cam on for these. These are cool. Check this out. Right. Bench cam with face. Yes. And look at this. Now I can just immediately focus the bench cam to where I want it to be.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we've got some. adamant IT coasters in various colors, and like this case and stuff is cool. And is that Nikolai's logo? I'm guessing that's Nikolai's logo. Because I think that's his avatar actually, his profile picture. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a Caradog and that's a me. Yeah. So we've got.
Who are you?
Yeah. It's a Graham, but I'm Graham. I'm him. He's me. It's a name I've not heard in a long time. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's well cool. Those are rad.
You're showing how 90s you are.
Yes.
Well, cool. Rad.
Look, I like using terms.
Far out.
I like using terms like that. I think they're endearing. I mean, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to say that they're poggers? Would you prefer that?
You may leave.
Well, how would you describe them then?
Cool. Fancy.
Okay. So
awesome. I don't know.
The mysterious cylinder has got. I guess you could call these like tags, like luggage tags or something.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, there's loads of them. There's a whole stack of them in there, and yeah, that's really cool. The logo is actually done pretty good in 3D print, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's come out surprisingly well.
It was good going through and kind of doing that simplification.
That's why I wanted to simplify it.
Yeah.
The initial concepts for the new logo had like another 2 rows and were significantly more detailed than this. And I said, no, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
It needs to be simpler. If you can't draw it by hand, it's too complicated. That's what I said.
Or at least a very solid representation.
Yeah. If any decent logo, like if you gave me a pencil and some paper and a picture of this, I could do a reasonable job of hand drawing it. That's the objective.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if it was any more complicated, this wouldn't be possible. So that's very cool. So I'll give you that
I
one.
half expected it to be spring-loaded, and as you put the lid on, it just went like those worm things.
Yes. So yeah, this is the same chap that Paul Daniels was talking to in the chat earlier on about microscope ring light mounts. So
Oh yeah, was this the person who posted a picture much earlier this morning?
That's
It
right.
was just like, one of these.
Yes, because Paul Daniels was in chat going sort of like, yeah, I haven't figured out how to mount my new ring light to an actual microscope yet. And then Nikolai comes back like 10 seconds later with 3D renders of a mock-up of a prototype kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, that's pretty good. You know? So
yes, one of those things.
right, adamant assimilation logo. Hey, Nikolai. Speak of the devil, and he will arrive. We're just unwrapping your stuff. It's really cool. So in this one, we've got a large like stand model thing. That's cool. So
It can go.
I was going to say we've got some little stands here. I'm assuming that. Not sure if they're the same or whether one goes to one and one goes to the other.
Okay.
Oh, that's got to go on the shelves behind us. That's cool. All right, hang on a sec. Let me
Because then,
just check that we've got the right ones.
hopefully, with these.
So that goes.
Uh,
Yep, those fit. So those go on there, and so then that would stand up straight. So yeah, and that's come out really well as well. That'll look really good in the front window. Like just put that on one of the
you know
shelves.
what
in the
would
front
also
window.
look really good is that, but with space for LEDs.
Yeah. That would, you could make a light-up version of that very easily. And hang on a sec. Before that goes up there forever, I'll just put that under the cam, just so.
Works well.
Yeah. So and then there's the Two Guys Talk Tech version of it. So yeah. Yes, that's really cool. That's well good.
Yes, I didn't expect someone to pick me out as having a moustache. Given I always think it never grows well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you didn't put it there, it would just look like you've got an open mouth going, oh, you know.
I don't know, that feels kind of appropriate for this. Oh!
They should friction fit, yeah. They're holding on pretty good. So yeah, failing that, as I say, just literally a single drop of glue just to hold them in place would do fine. But yeah, I'll put that up there for now. But yes, I shall put that in the front window. Those are well cool. These coasters are really cool, and the luggage tags, I guess. I think those are very cool as well.
I just like that the tube is effectively the same thing but bigger.
Yeah. Nope, that's very cool. Is that everything? We haven't missed anything, have we? Nope, that's everything that was in the box.
Right.
All right. I don't use coasters because then I have to use a coaster. However, now I've got special coasters, so I'm obligated to use them. There we go. Excellent.
Yeah. Now the question is, which one are you going to have over there?
I don't know yet, but yeah, we'll put the stack over there for now. I'll put the tags there as well for now. Yeah. Well,
what would be good as well is just having them on the little table.
Yeah.
You know, where people sit, and just being like, here are my own branded coasters. I'm a big boy.
Now I'll put my mug down on my face. So yes. Did we check all the coasters? Yeah. So there was the Adamant IT logo ones, and then there's the face ones. So yeah, there was nothing else in there.
I have seen that there were 3 designs of coaster.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The logo. Yeah, the logo and the 2 face designs.
Yes, 3 designs. 3 designs. The logo in 3 colours plus our faces in red and blue.
Just a side note as well, just the fact that there's the logo embossed on the bottom of the holder as well. That's just a really nice touch. That's cool. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, those are very cool. So,
the little luggage tags.
Yeah.
they're not just luggage tags. They're shot glass coasters.
Yeah, for when the throat cutter shows up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I perish. Like part of me,
And I'm compromised to a permanent end.
yes. Excellent. All right. Okay, right. I'm now paying attention to the chat again. So yeah, big thanks, Nikolai. Super cool. I missed the comments. Did I? Yeah. What did I miss? I'm now paying attention again. So yes, there were key fobs. Oh yeah, key rings. Yeah, I called them luggage tags because they were just like tags. So yeah, you put them on your keys, put them on things. So yeah.
Attach them to that annoying person's nose piercing.
Yes, I will put one on my keys because then if I lose my keys, people will know whose keys they are. Yes. Excellent.
Because of course I'm famous and I have a wide-reaching audience.
Yeah, well, just another courier came into the shop with a package today and was just like, a damn tit. And I was like, adamant IT. Adamant. It's a word.
It's a word. It's English.
It's pretty early on in the dictionary as well. You know, just anyway. Very good. Okay, right. So, right. Well, that out of the way. So we've got those. That lives up there now. That's cool. Good. Right. So let's get into main content today. So. Today, this was a video idea that I had ages back and just haven't gotten round to, because basically when you're looking at motherboards, I'll just grab a couple of examples here. When you're looking at motherboards, one of the things that I used to do when I used to review motherboards, I would do a tour of the board, and one of the things that I would do, I'd go around the board and I'd be like, okay, so here's the VRM section, here's the PCI Express layout and stuff like that, and then I'd say, here's the audio circuit, and I would comment whether I thought it had good onboard audio or not. So this is a low end board. This is just a Z170P. So this was probably one of the cheapest Z170 motherboards that you could get when this was relevant. And as you can see, it's got the most basic onboard audio you can get. We've got just stereo mic and line, and we've got a tiny little Realtek chipset down there, and we've got like two medium and two small filter capacitors. That's it. That's the whole audio circuit. It's really basic. It's all done on one chip. That's it. Whereas if we look at a more fancy motherboard, we've got the fancier motherboards here, but they're all covered up. So I'll just grab another example. So here's a, what is this, a B550 Strix? I think it's a B550.
Yeah,
B550E. Yeah. So this is a B550E Strix, and if we look at the audio circuit on this one, so this has got the Asus Supreme FX. Asus buy enough that they can get their own branded audio chipsets. I can't remember off the top of my head who makes these ones. We'll have to look it up, or if someone can look it up, if someone in chat can look up who makes the Supreme FX chips, that'd be great. It's probably Realtek.
Probably.
Because there's going to be like 3 manufacturers in the world. So it's probably a rebranded Realtek. However, it's got a fancier chip. It's under a little, the little metal cap on it, this is just cosmetic, it does nothing. Like there probably won't even be a thermal pad under there, it's just cosmetic. However, we've got that. We've got a couple of extra drivers there. I forget, I think these are amplifiers. Yeah, these are discrete amplifiers. There'll be a discrete amplifier for the rear audio and a discrete amplifier for the front audio. And we've got significantly more filter caps here. Whoops, I'm drifting off shot. So audio mic is a bit high. Okay, I'll sort that out in just a moment. In fact, I can see that's a bit on the high side. Have we got any gain on? No, it's just too high. Let me just quickly fix that.
How bizarre.
Yeah. Sound control panel. Recording.
One thing I want to know for Windows 11 is how you get it to forcibly apply normalization to outputs. because it was a thing that was on Windows 10, and if you upgraded from 10 to 11, it maintained an option. But if you fresh install Windows 11, the option's gone.
Ah, don't know.
And I'm just like, oh, because normalization fixes that problem of people going, oh my God, that's really loud, my headphones.
Oh, right,
And then,
yeah.
oh my God, that's really quiet, turning everything up. It just normalizes,
Yes.
literally as it sounds. But yeah, it's how I used to get away with basically just having one volume for my headphones and everything was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not sure off the top of my head, I'm afraid.
It's just, yeah,
But yes.
super handy.
Anyway, so that should have just toned the audio down just a little bit there. So yeah, so there's an example of a significantly higher end audio. So if we look at a top end board like this one, it's all hidden under the thing. So there'll be something similar there. You can just see that they've got their Supreme FX chip down there, and there'll be a whole bunch of bypassing under this heatsink somewhere. There you go. You can just see the caps down in there, kind of. You can't see that, but they're there. And there's probably some discrete amplifiers as well. I'm not going to reverse engineer all of this, but you get the point. The point is, more expensive motherboards, the audio circuit is significantly more built up. So the question is, does it matter? Does it actually make a difference?
Yeah.
So what we've got today is we've got some various motherboards with everything from trash tier audio to what for motherboard should be like. This is a Crosshair 8 Extreme. This should have the best onboard audio that money can buy on this board. So we've got that, and then you have also got some external audio interfaces.
Yes, absolutely.
So what have you got?
I have the Fortescue Scarlett 2i2 somewhere. Where did my bag go?
Camera bag is there. Then you've got another bag down here.
I moved it, so I was prepared.
You put it next to you and then immediately looks the other way.
Indeed. I have.
Get this out.
Then I have the Behringer Euphoria UMC 22.
Is it Behringer or Behringer?
Behringer.
Behringer. I thought it was
Behringer.
I thought it was Behringer.
I don't know. I've heard both. I've got my DT770 Pros. XLR cable. And then the Go XLR.
Cool. Excellent. So we've got a couple of external interfaces. So the plan is we're going to set up. So firstly, what I think we should do, I think we should go from least good to most gooder.
Yes.
So we set up the crappiest motherboard we can find.
Yes.
With audio, and what we think is the best out of these external kits.
Yes.
Then we plug in the DT770 Pro headphones to each setup. We have a listen, and we see if we can hear the difference.
Yeah.
Now, theoretically, all going to plan, I bloody well hope that we'd be able to hear the difference between the trash tier motherboard and the top end external thing. And then we do a couple of other comparisons with, say, the top end motherboard versus the external DAC. Because that's the question then, is because there's lots of people who are going to be like, do I need an external sound card? Is it worth buying a PCI Express sound card?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Depending on, obviously, it's going to depend on what speakers you've got and what headphones you've got and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, if we can't hear the difference with some extreme cases, and I like to think that we're discerning individuals who
reasonably,
we're not sound engineers, but I should expect that I can hear the difference. Then, yeah, that's the thing, is how much do you care if your motherboard has good audio or not? So that's the thing. The Go XLR isn't peeled.
No,
he won't do it. I'm sorry. If it were up to me, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you know what else isn't peeled?
Nothing is peeled. Everything is ruined forever.
This one is, because this was second-hand and £20.
20 quid?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I bought it because it was 20 quid.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, obviously, Behringer are the pound shop of audio gear. However, for 20 quid, who cares? You know,
yeah, absolutely.
like, because I use a Behringer condenser mic for my Twitch streams. and it's got no internal amplification, so I have to have about 10,000 decibels of gain on it.
Yeah.
However, it was also £20.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I don't care. So yeah.
I meant to
20 quid for an XLR interface, sure.
I meant to bring my K3 as well, which is specifically a headphone DAC. But I have put that somewhere, and I'm not sure where.
Yeah, yeah. However,
but it's a case of because
these guys,
because the Go XLR can
yeah.
drive 250 ohm headphones.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
That's going to have a decent DAC in it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this can drive 250 ohm headphones straight off of it, and that can drive them. It was a case, so I was like, well, I've got 3 things that can drive these with absolutely no problem.
Cool.
That's the thing that will be interesting to tell on the motherboards.
Yeah.
You might actually find just that they can't drive 250 ohm headphones.
Yeah.
And that's what the actual difference is.
Unfortunately, ideally, what we need is we also needed some headphones that were like 80 ohms or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a pair of those that are 80 ohms, but I've lent them to someone and I can't remember who.
Yeah, the only other headphones I've got lying around here are USB headphones, and USB headphones don't count because they'll use their internal DAC, won't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so firstly, that's the first interesting thing. If you use USB headphones, none of this matters at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely none of it matters
at all. It's also
at all.
the other comment I would make is I would use one of these even if there was no difference, because it means I don't have to use the motherboard's audio. And I have had continuous driver issues with them for like 8 years.
Yeah.
On every motherboard I've used, I've had random audio driver issues.
Interesting.
So I just don't have a problem because I have a device that is just a...
Yeah.
And this handles it all and actually has software that functions.
Yeah. And if you're a content creator or a streamer, having external devices to control inputs and outputs is very handy anyway. I've never had problems with onboard audio myself.
Yeah.
However, an audio interface is something that I should have on hand because it just means that I can adjust microphone volume on the fly. Like just then when someone was just like, oh, your microphone's a bit hot, I had to start digging into the Windows controls. If we'd had one of these on the desk, I'd be like, oh, and turn the mic down slightly. Yeah. Done. You know, so.
But yeah, that was because this is the interface I normally use. And I swapped to these other two Thursday when they arrived and used them for a couple of days.
Yeah.
The thing I missed the most was just having a mute button or like an actual just hit that and the microphone is dead. Yeah. It's turned off, it's disconnected, it's muted without having to mute the microphone. So I could just hit that to do it, or obviously those if I just want a push to mute, or that if I want it to actually toggle mute.
Yeah.
And just having that and then not having that, it was surprising how convenient it is having that and how much I missed this.
Absolutely.
Given how unnecessary this is for just having a microphone and headset connected to a computer, it's incredible how much I missed this.
Yeah, I can relate to that because, like, at home I use my Corsair Void headset, which has a mute button on the side, which I use daily. I use it constantly. Like, if I'm about to cough or sneeze, I mute while I'm in the call, kind of thing. Yeah. Because I'm not an asshole. Yeah. However, when I'm streaming and I'm on my USB condenser, which doesn't have a built-in mute button, if I need to mute the mic, I've actually got to tab out of the game to OBS and mute it there. Yeah. Significantly less convenient. Same goes here. If we want to mute, we need to get to OBS and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. And I think, so just catching up on chat there. Yeah, oh, there it was. So yeah, Adam Williams, yes, you're going to watch us listen to music. However, on the other hand, though, I think the other value in this video will be watching us set things up and seeing what is out there. I think that will be the value in this because I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, what if I wanted my audio to sound a bit better? What do I do? What do I get? What do I buy? And obviously, we're not. This isn't a review or an endorsement of any of these products specifically. It's just demonstrating that products like this exist and what they do. So if you go, oh, that Go XLR, that's got loads of utility, that looks good. I'm going to look for something like this. And you might buy specifically the Go XLR, or you might buy something else that does the same thing. But the point is, now you know that an interface like this exists specifically for streamers and content creators.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you wanted a smaller version, there is a smaller version of this. There is a mini that is just the 4 sliders.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I also have.
Oh yeah, it's got a little
the branded stand.
It's
a separate purchase.
How much was this stand? God, that's heavy.
Guess.
But this feels like it's made out of stone and pig iron. I mean, it's not gonna slide when you bash the buttons on it. That's for certain. You know, if you bash the buttons, it won't push away. Let's see. I think it was.
Keep in mind it's audio equipment.
Oh, that's 50 quid.
No, I think it was about £40.
Okay, yeah, I was in the right price category, and it's just a bit of metal basically. Yeah. There's no springs in it or anything like that. It's just 2 bits of metal that just pivot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is really heavy. That must be iron or something, you know.
It is certainly steel. Just all metal.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that they just rubberized this face. So the surface it actually sits on is rubberized, so it doesn't slip. Yeah. One problem is the feet, they just don't stay on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they should have rubberized the entire underside as well.
Yeah.
Considering they bothered to, like, that's the thing is, this bit arguably doesn't need rubberizing. I guess it protects the bottom of the unit.
Yeah, it also stops the unit sliding around on this.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, they should have rubberized the whole bottom side. But nah. Oh well. Anyway, good. So let's start setting something up, and absolutely. I will back read the chat and catch up with you guys.
Yeah.
So
what should we start on? Because what have we actually got CPUs for?
Right. So our crap tier motherboard. I pulled out this Asus as an example, but we have a Skylake CPU, don't we?
I don't know. Oh, is that 6th gen?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Where's the box of CPUs gone? It was there.
I refuse to answer that question on account that I don't know. Failing that, we've got the AM4 ITX board, the ASRock.
Oh yeah.
And
that will be something.
Yeah. Well, it's going to have terrible audio on it because it's an A520 chipset. So that's going to have the crappiest audio on it as well.
Yeah, but it's modern. And that's the thing I think that we're actually going to find. I think we're going to find that it doesn't matter on the modern stuff.
You reckon?
On like 2014-ish and later. So I think we're going to find that it will be more than good enough.
There's our audio circuit down here. It's got 2 caps on it. Is it the same chipset? Hang on a sec. Let's go for the super close-up.
Zoom. Enhance. Where the hell is that box of CPUs?
I'll help with that in a moment. Oh, I'm too close.
Closer.
Lower. Lower. Too low. ALC 887. That's an ALC 887. And the ALC 887. ALC 887, same chipset. So yeah, they don't
but
change.
That's Skylake. That's what I'm saying. That's 6th gen.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were implying that this one was old and the AM4 board was significantly newer.
No, it is. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're both. Sorry, I was set.
Do you mean the conversation opposed to like 4th gen?
Yeah, the conversation we had yesterday. I said I think we'll find the difference around 4th gen.
Okay, yeah.
3rd gen, sort of that age.
Yeah.
Which I think we're going to prove that there is no difference, really. I also cannot easily spot that box of hard drives. No, that box of CPUs.
Hold on a sec, let me have a cast around.
Which is unfortunate. However, we have exactly the same chipset.
Yes.
So...
That's a good question. Where on earth did I put those?
Ah!
Oh, there. Yeah. I knew they wouldn't be far away. I assume they're in... did I put them back at... Just check the ones nearest the top.
3.
Because we pulled out the good
4.
ones.
Yes.
Let me just check there's not a stack of them nearby.
No, I think they're back in the box. 2nd gen, 4th gen.
Okay, fine.
4th Gen.
Let's see. Right, I'm going to quickly back read the chat.
Blimmin' Celerons. 4th Gen.
Elgato stuff is top notch. You pay for top notch. Elgato stuff is okay, yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I saw one of the Elgato make an XLR microphone.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realise. Yeah. And I saw one of them on discount for like 70 quid. So I was like, I'll give that a go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested in checking that out. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't used much of their stuff, but I think, at the very least, I think you can't go wrong with them. I would hesitate to put them on the same tier as pro audio brands or, pro AV brands.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, if someone said, I got an Elgato something or other, I'll be like, yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to be bad,
Yeah.
So yeah, which is kind of the case with Corsair in general. They might not be the best, but it's going to be fine. It's going to do the job as required. Hope you use copyright-free music. Yeah, we have a plan. So yes. Let's see.
There's also a plan just using the YouTube library.
Elgato is the Bose or Apple of the video maker industry. Yeah. But again, if you buy Bose or Apple, you're not going to get something that's bad per se.
It's certainly not going to be a lemon.
Yeah. Elgato is Logitech. They're owned by Corsair. So take that with a pinch of salt. Yeah.
Aha! A 6500T.
Oh, that'll do. Excellent.
So, 4th Gen.
Sound system insider should be interesting. Yeah.
4th Gen, 3rd Gen, 2nd Gen.
What is
Socket 775 and equivalents.
Right. Yes.
Or Pentiums of who knows? Sorry, Celerons of who knows? Who cares?
Shot glass coasters.
I'm sorry, anyone who's using a system with a Celeron in, but no. It's like using an FX.
If you say anything is bad, there'll be someone in the comments who is mortally offended. Guarantee it. So yeah.
We're not going there. We're live.
Yeah. Very well. And yes, sound system insider. Yes, I will. I'm going to grab a cider in a minute, just because I haven't had one for a while. My fancy one. But yes, my 8K rig goes boom boom is the plan for today. Well, it won't be, I guess, but.
Your 8K rig goes boom boom?
Yeah, that'll be an 8,000 watt sound system.
Oh.
It's a quote from a Massive Attack song.
Oh.
Because back in the early 90s of garage and stuff like that, your social status was dictated by how many watts your sound system was. If you had an 8,000 watt sound system, you were cool. So your 8K rig goes boom boom.
Ah, indeed. You were particularly cool if it was actually RMS and not peak.
Yes. Excellent. Right.
Good. Do you happen to have another little baggie, approximately?
Probably.
Just because I want to put the 4th Gen CPUs in a little baggie so we know they're the 4th Gen ones.
That would make sense. There's another one.
Actually, do you have a slightly bigger baggie?
Oh my God, you're never happy. Never happy.
No.
Whoops.
I used to, and then it exploded.
Sorry, there was packaging airbags on the floor and I stepped on one.
Hold on. We might be okay. They might just about fit.
Yeah, okay. I could summon one up,
there
but
we
I'd
go.
have to empty something.
No, it did shut.
Okay.
That's fine.
Very good.
And then we have the unknowns. There we go.
Right, okay. I'm going to stick this motherboard away because this motherboard doesn't work, so we're not actually going to use it.
Yes. Fine. We have that 6th Gen one there.
Okay, so we're going to use the Z170 6th and 7th Gen. It says good, so last we knew that this motherboard works.
Yes.
So good. Okay, so this is our peasant tier board then. So yeah, that's the one with pretty crap audio on it.
What I'll also be interested in doing is doing a back-to-back comparison, because we know, obviously, have visually confirmed they've got the same chip.
Yeah, yeah.
So does the rest of the board matter?
Yeah, we'll put that as low priority, because I've got no idea how long this is going to take.
No,
I think it's going to take longer than we think.
But just a case of that would be interesting to see.
Yeah, certainly if we're making good progress, that would be Cool. Right, I'm gonna, let's see. Cool. All right. So, let me get off of the bench cam for a sec. We'll go to there.
Do you have...
What do you need?
A CPU cooler.
Now you're asking me.
Also, RAM.
CPU
oh no,
cooler.
it's 6th gen, so it'll be DDR4. That's fine.
RAM is a yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I can... Or, oh, you've got some in your hand.
Or I tell you what, we'll poach this. We'll poach this. There we go. There's an 8 gig DDR 3000 kit. That'll do. Saves me putting in some of my nice ballistics. And then cooling. I think we're going to have to use a perch cooler because I haven't got anything ready. So, got a Wraith Stealth there, but I don't have an Intel blower lying around. Oh yes, I do. No, that's another Wraith Stealth. Nope. Okay. Where's the test cooler? That's probably close by because we were using it not long ago. You know where the freezer is? We had it recently.
Is it? Oh no, that's the actual boxes for the cooling ones.
Yeah. Well, we have got it. There is a brand new cooler in that box. I would like to not have to break that out for this. I mean, it'll work. Where the hell is the Arctic Freezer 7? The test cooler that we use? That can't be far away. We used it not long ago.
I don't know. It will be fine. She'll be right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's in front of me. I got it.
Oh, this does take M.2.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
Groovy. Okay, yeah, so you're going to drop...
Get.
All right, you're going to drop the bench SSD in there. Cool. Have you got everything you need to start that up?
Probably.
Cool. All right, I'm going to read chat then. Let's see.
Oh, it's the thermal paste on the other bench.
Yeah, there's some on the bottom of the cooler. It'll be fine. It's not like we're going to stress it,
cool.
is it?
Yeah, that's fine.
However, I'll bring this over just in case. Oh, also, while I'm here...
Whilst you're there...
also a shout out to Jason, who sent me a Christmas present of a crate of Stoford Press.
Oh, very nice.
So we have more cider than the supermarket now.
Excellent.
Which is great.
Do you have a smaller screwdriver on hand?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
And there's a medium. There we go. Awesome. Right. Okay, right. I'm going to read from the top of the chats. Let's see. Liam says, one test is to load up the GPU and then play audio. When the GPU is maxed out, audio quality can drop.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, if the computer is struggling, because if your GPU is maxed out, then you may also be maxing your CPU to feed it, and then you may start getting stuttering. That's not really what we're looking for, though, I don't think. So
that'll be.
Yes.
It's because there's no post. And I was like,
I see,
the fastest solution is just to put the heatsink on top, and it keeps it in place.
Yeah, that'll work. Good. All right. Use a 2.1 tube amp for your PC. Yeah, tube amps are good if they're, like real. But the problem is, most of the time when you see something that is a tube amp, a tube amp, they're essentially using the vacuum tubes as just a buffer for the input to the amplifier chips. So it might adjust the characteristic of the sound, but tubes are just about the characteristic of the sound, not the quality per se. So yeah. However, if they do give a particular sound that people like. So
have we actually got another PCIe power? Just because this is a fixed 8-pin and not a 6+2. And the 6+2 got robbed and put in my PC.
Yeah. We might not. We've got other power supplies, so we might have to switch out. I take it we can't ghetto fit that.
Well, it was purely if we had one. I was going to use the correct connector.
Yeah, and the answer to that is no. You can't force an 8-pin onto a 6-pin. Oh no. What are you? Nope, that's things. No, actually, yeah, we've kind of robbed too many cables from that. I need to find the extra cables and/or swap it out. Different power supply. Yeah, let's just swap out just because we don't know. We'll plug the Antec in for now, just so we've got something. Good. Let's see. Tube amps soften the audio. Yes, I think that's a reasonable thing to say. So yeah. Right. Yeah, and as I say, the thing about when we're talking about audio, and this is going to be important for this stream as well, is when we're talking about audio, there is quality and there is characteristics, and a lot of it is incredibly subjective. So it's 100% valid to just like the sound of tube amplifiers. It doesn't matter whether it sounds better or not. What matters is that you like the sound. However, for this level of audio that we're working with, we're mostly going to be working with, like, we're expecting to be able to get audible hiss out of the bad ones. That's what we're looking for here.
Or just like active distortion or something.
Yeah,
like that.
That's right. We want to be able to listen to it and be like, oh no, that's just worse. You know, that's what we're hoping to achieve here. So, Tufel Hunden ICT, thank you very much for the $5. I bought a Dell laptop for daughter. It needs a battery. There's a higher watt-hour battery that Dell offers, but it's a lower volt. Will that work? 3 versus 4 cell. If Dell are listing it as compatible with your model, then it should be fine. Yes, I think you'll be fine, because Dell used to offer, like when you bought a bigger battery, it would say that it had more cells in it. And obviously the problem is that is not only changing the capacity, but potentially the configuration of the battery. However, if Dell lists it as compatible and it's physically compatible, then it will work. Because the battery charger circuit in a laptop will be able to adapt to different voltages. So in all probability, on the Dell laptop, it is capable of accepting different voltage inputs and outputs from the battery. And it will communicate with the battery to determine charge and discharge voltage and stuff like that. So if Dell lists it as compatible, should be absolutely fine. And HarrisCom, thank you for the $5 as well. Much appreciated. Let's see. Antec for the win, indeed.
Where is the...
let's see. That one is... Ooh. What are you? That's not it.
The high quality keyboard.
Yes. I think that one's missing in action, actually, so I'm going to grab the other keyboard because I know that's here with the receiver on top of it. They got mixed up recently. There we go. Use that one instead. Yeah. It won't be far away, but... Conceal, don't feel.
Oh my god, this is... Oh no, it has got 4 USB ports. I thought this board only had 2 USB ports.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I call that 4.5 because it's got a Type-C on it.
Oh yeah, I'd missed that. Right, now I need to stuff a thing in there.
Let's see. Dell website, they should not be offering a lower capacity battery. The bigger battery might stick out slightly, is the other thing to keep in mind. And also lower capacity batteries, they might be cheaper, and they will exist because laptop manufacturers will often use the cheapest battery they can. So there are reasons for it. So yeah. I think Graham should purchase one of those graphite thermal pads, which would make... Yeah, we would actually benefit from that.
That one was the power switch.
Indeed.
I poked the power LED and wondered why it didn't come on.
Ah, I see, yes. Very good. Yeah, a graphite thermal pad would actually be helpful for this bench because of the amount of just changing around that we do with no intent, with no need for actual cooling performance per se. So yeah, graphic card can affect onboard audio. You had a whine. Oh yeah, coil whine and stuff like that. Yeah, that's reasonable. Like, one could argue that is a good reason for the little metal cap to be, like we saw on the higher end boards, they had the Supreme FX metal cap over the top, bit of shielding for it. But then if the rest of the traces are exposed, that begs the question, what, you know, does it matter if you haven't shielded the whole thing? So yeah, I can see that being an issue. So that's an interesting thing that we're not really going to be able to test for today, actually. But that kind of is more of an audio fault than quality or not. Because, you know, if you've got... I would wager that if you have coil whine causing interference on your onboard audio, I would wager that that could happen regardless of whether the audio on the motherboard is good or bad. Because the interference is going to come down to shielding. And very few motherboards actually have meaningfully shielded audio circuits.
Yeah. They separate out the traces a lot for time.
Yes, there's the circuit separation is always there. Although sometimes I'm not sure how much that actually matters, because, for example, like on this board, this is kind of an interesting example of that, actually. If we have a look at the audio here, bench count with face. So for, let's go in a bit closer. There we go. So you can see that the line that you see coming down the board here, that's the audio separation, and it basically gives a separate section of the board to isolate the audio from everything else. But like you can see on this board that there is a massive hecking gap. There's a massive hecking gap in that audio separation with the audio chipset straddling it, which, like, I'm not an electronics engineer, but I'm pretty certain that's just completely nullified all of your separation anyway. So I don't know how much that actually matters, or it might depend on the board whether they've actually meaningfully separated it or not. Because, like, unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty certain that these two are sharing ground planes anyway. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it actually matters or not. So, do I have a Sound Blaster Z to test by any chance? No, is the short answer there. And Fender says, yeah, Supreme FX is made by Realtek. Yeah, I thought so. Realtek basically make all the audio chipsets, so that doesn't surprise me. Another problem is finding good enough quality source music. Yeah, auto-tune, over-compress, etc., etc. Yeah, agreed. We've actually got a couple of CDs with us today for that exact reason. We're... yeah, actually, I'd forgotten about the setup for that. Are you trying to get the drive out?
I was attempting to get it out, but this cage is in the way.
Yeah. Did I not?
You've screwed it in on both sides.
Yeah, because it was originally plugged in, and it was intended that there would just be a SATA cable coming up. I think it would be quicker just to plug it in situ.
Can you get your hand in the back to put in a SATA data cable then?
I sure can. So.
Also, where is the little Wi-Fi doodad?
There's
there
power.
Is the little Wi-Fi doodad.
And I just need a SATA cable. Do we not have a SATA cable kicking around in there? No, apparently not.
No.
Very well. Let me grab one.
SATA.
SATA. I'm going to go around the front and have my turn at standing in front of the camera.
Indeed. Ah, it's my SATA chicken.
Your SATA chicken?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
Oh, I see.
I was confused and then I was disappointed. I'm going to come around the other side to get to that now. Change places!
Very well. I think that's the Wi-Fi password.
You'll all be disappointed to know that we don't have a $100 audiophile quality serial ATA cable that is directional.
Dora.
Okay, right. I need a reboot, but you should have thing.
Oh, my clock is behind. No, my clock.
Good. Right. Last piece.
Oh, apparently it's November.
No, it is not. Okay, right. Last item of business. Do we need capture?
Not specifically.
No, we don't really, do we? Yep. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god, everything is broken. The certificates are broken because the root chain certificates refreshed at some point.
Okay.
And apparently this SSD hasn't caught up. But also it completely broke everything.
I see. Very well. Cool. Right. The limit is how good the source audio is. Are you not by definition over specification?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the point to a degree. That's what we're trying to prove.
Yeah.
Effectively, is that your source is going to be the problem.
Yeah, this is true. Yes. It depends. Yeah. The other thing as well. Yeah. I think. Yeah, see, the problem is this is a bottomless discussion.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Because, you know, that then introduces, okay, what about game audio? You know, is that going to be decent quality? Rather than streamed audio and stuff like that.
Very much depends.
Yeah, exactly.
Because certainly if you're playing on a Switch, hell no it isn't.
Yeah.
The biggest complaint I see in reviews of Switch games is they compress the audio to buggery. It sounds like arse.
That's unfortunate.
Like,
so yes.
Cool, that works. We now have internet again on this.
Excellent. Yeah, I think we're mainly just going to focus on just CD audio. I think, and like I think we're going to base our opinion on CD audio and say, okay, well, if like, in my opinion, if you need something that is better quality than CD, then you're off the deep end. Because CD audio, by technical definition, is all you need.
It's certainly getting to the point of diminishing returns.
Yeah, and I think if you're asking, when people show up and they're like, oh no, you need lossless, I'm like, well, where are you getting your lossless from? Oh, right, a CD. Basically, I think we're going to avoid that discussion because that's a never-ending argument, which we're not going to solve today.
Absolutely.
However, I think everyone can agree that CD audio will be good enough for a test.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a very valid conversation, though, about that conversation for high-res audio. Because with high-res audio, it's a case that that's great that you're giving me a high-res audio file, but was the master a high-res master? And was the recording a high-res recording? And it's a case that actually an awful lot of the releases that were sold as high-res weren't.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. The original master wasn't, and things like that. And like the original master has come from cassette tape.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And it's just like...
Yeah. Muerto says, UEFI, onboard audio, disable, save and reboot. That doesn't help us today, but thank you for your input, Muerto. It will help, I mean, I guess it will help us when we're on the external ones.
That's the precise opposite of what we're wanting.
Yes. However, we require it at the moment. Probably want something better if you're mixing down in the studio. Most of the time it should be 24-bit. Yeah. I mean, that's CD audio, isn't it? 24-bit?
As far as I'm aware.
Well, it's supposed to be, yeah. So yes. Our sample today is going to be Linkin Park's Meteora. Which I seem to remember, that's one of your just audio tests for this is a CD that I know very well.
Yeah.
I know what this is supposed to sound like.
Also, the kick in Numb breaks a whole bunch of crappy hi-fis.
Ah, that's handy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a way I found out that the old shop,
Yeah.
the speakers that were in there, they sounded great until you put anything with bass on them. And it was just like, oh, they're basically just low passing everything and just not reproducing it.
Oof.
It was like, we appear to be missing.
CD was 16-bit. Maybe that's the
QuickTime.
The two differences that people are talking about.
Sure, I'll install QuickTime off of this CD. I'm not sure what's gone.
God, remember when this is the thing? When you would buy it, it probably has a couple of the music videos on the disc, which we could play in QuickTime or with Real Player. However, yeah, that's not working very well. Yeah.
I'm just going to open.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So. Okay. I notice you have quarter inch on that. Do we have a 3.5mm adapter? Ah, good. It does come off. It didn't feel like it. Yes, good. Okay. So, theoretically, these being 250 ohm, are they 200 or 250?
250.
250, yeah. These being 250 ohm headphones, this might be a non-starter because the onboard audio may just not drive these at all.
Yes.
But then I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Huh, interesting. This is... Be gone, be gone. How do you play a CD in 2022?
Just going to say, it's a surprising amount of work to get this far, isn't it? I mean, VLC can do it if nothing else. Surely Media Play... What are you using there? Media Play Classic? Yeah.
Oh, that's a DVD. That's why you won't work. Open disk. There we go. There we go.
It's reading. That's a good start.
Aren't CDs encrypted?
No. Unless they have like copy protection on them, and I don't know how copy protection works on audio CDs.
Neither do I specifically.
Yeah. Oh my days, can Media Player Classic not play a CD?
It might be because this is a weird QuickTime CD thing as well. So it might be confusing it because it's...
Yeah.
It has the drive has actually now spun up.
Not an issue I expected us to encounter.
No. I will grab VLC as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we are downloading VLC now. I am going
there you go. It's playing.
Aha, good. I'm going to grab a cider. I'm going to grab one of my Stoford presses. Would you like one, Caradog?
Sure thing. I'm now going to talk loud because I can't hear you. Oh no!
Is it bad?
I also forgot how slow CDs were to respond. Because I issued 2 instructions and apparently crashed the CD.
Oh my god. Alright. The CD drive audio cable hooked up. Not since the 90s.
Does this even have an audio?
No. I don't think I've ever seen a SATA drive with the analog audio on it. All right, we're switching to VLC.
Oh, yeah, because the drive itself was decoding the audio and then passing it over that cable into the sound card, wasn't it?
Yes. That was how very early CD audio playback worked.
Because the CPU couldn't, in software, decode it in real time.
I don't...
Without basically making the computer chug.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm talking early 90s here.
Yes, yeah. I think you're right, yeah. Because certainly it wouldn't have any hardware decoding for it, so that any actual quote-unquote digital audio playback was probably just bit banging. Yeah, for a long time in the 90s, you'd have your parallel ATA ribbon cable from your CD drive, and you'd also have a quote-unquote analog audio, which goes directly to your sound card. and this would apply for if you're listening to music CDs, and also a lot of games used analog CD audio playback. So you start the game up, and the game would then tell to the CD drive, okay, now play track 10, and it would start playing track 10 down that audio cable. So just copy the audio files of the CD to the SSD. That's not how it works with CD audio. We'd need to get a FLAC encoder to do that. However, I'm beginning to think that might actually be faster.
I think we're going to have
to actually get something that can, what do you use to rip a CD? I haven't ripped a CD for a decade. Because we need something that can do it in FLAC, because obviously MP3 is no good. If we end up going to MP3, we basically lose the quality. At that point, we may as well just download an MP3. Winamp, maybe. Exact audio copy. Says all dreams fall down. EAC. I could do it to WAV, yeah. WAV is uncompressed. It just means each song will be like 500 megabytes kind of thing. Are you getting the German version of it there? Because it says exact audio copy DE.
It's the only download link that was on their website.
Very well.
So if it is in German, it's because that's the only download link provided.
.net. Okay. Right, I shall carry on doing the thing while we do this. Peter Little says, have you heard anything about the latest Windows 10 update playing havoc with the creative sound cards? I haven't specifically.
Also, last I checked, there wasn't a creative sound card released since Windows 7.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think Creative were actually still making sound blasters. But like for a lot of people running old sound cards, I thought a lot of those lost support in Windows 8, or rather Windows 8 was the last system to support them. Because I know there were quite a couple of people who stayed on Windows 8 specifically because they had high-end audio stuff that didn't have a Windows 10 driver. While you would imagine if it works in 8, it should work in 10, no, there are some exceptions to that rule. So yeah. No, Liam, that's not how it works. CDs are not just data disks with WAV files. CD has a specific encoding because it predates the digital era. They are, in a sense, digital, but it's not a computer file. Or you know, I've never seen a mastered audio CD that just has WAV files on it. I've never seen that. That wouldn't play in a traditional CD player. So yeah, fairly certain that's not a thing.
We, however, have the software. The software has been obtained.
Okay, right. So hopefully we can just do a FLAC rip of this now.
I prefer to have accurate results.
Sure.
It may take up to 4 minutes.
Yes, CD, man.
No. It's saying it will take 4 minutes to work out what the optical drive is.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know this one specifically, but there are for nerds who are making super high quality audio rips. You can use this must be the software they're using, because my mate was doing this at one point. They seek out very specific drives that have really low error rates on them and stuff like that to make absolutely certain that the audio file is completely immaculate and has not a single flipped bit in it, and so on. Because to my knowledge, the audio CD stream, I think it has a little bit of error correction on it, but not a huge amount. So theoretically there are certain DVD drives that are more capable than others, and so by measuring what drive you have, profiles, yada yada yada. We probably should have skipped this, but here we are now. So yes. CD audio is basically a WAV. Yeah, I think it's misleading to call it that. Like, if you look at the data stream, there will probably be similarities, but I think it's misleading to say that a mastered audio disc is a WAV file. Yeah. Certainly, like, we can't do that here right now, but if we opened this CD in File Explorer,
there are no audio files on the CD.
There will be no audio files there. So yeah.
But also a case of the only thing that is on the CD are QuickTime flash files.
Oh yes, QuickTime flash. Yeah. Yeah. Again, because special edition CD. But yeah. Creative released a Sound Blaster AE9 in 2018. Huh? How about that? Yeah. I mean, I guess this is the interesting thing. You know, like as far as I'm concerned, sound cards haven't been relevant for a decade because.
I was going to say, yeah, the last sound card I knew of being released was the EVGA one.
Did EVGA do a sound card as well? Did they? Interesting.
Because he wanted one, so he went, "I'm going to make one."
Huh. Fair enough. Yeah. Because theoretically, at this point, at this point, the onboard audio was sufficient that most people didn't care. And in addition to that, for the people who did care, the rise of external audio interfaces was as such that if you cared enough that you wanted dedicated sound, you were probably going to use an external interface anyway. So to that extent, personally, I think PCI sound cards are dead. Because if you care, you're probably using an external interface. Yeah, well, yeah, or just, yeah. Internal discrete sound cards. Because if you're going to buy a separate thing, an external audio interface not only gives you a decent DAC, but also you get all of the utility that comes with one as well. So yeah.
And certainly the benefit on things like this.
Yeah. Oh, the Sound Blaster AE9 even has a breakout box with physical controls and a powered XLR input. Oh, that's interesting. So, begs the question: why didn't they just make an external interface at that point? But sure. Anyway, you were saying about the focus.
Yeah, and just things like this is obviously because it's got the microphone inputs and stuff on it as well. That's its benefit over just being a sound card. Yeah,
you get a decent external DAC and you get XLR, which means you can now use exotic microphones. Because like you can get like decent pro brand microphones are not particularly expensive. Like shotgun mics and cool stuff like that. The difficulty is you need an XLR interface for it.
Or pencil condensers.
Oh yeah. That's cute. Yeah. Yeah, that's very cute. Because yeah, I haven't in a while, but I went through a phase of wanting a shotgun mic just because the advantage of being able to have a decent quality mic that could just be a meter away from you, pointing at your mouth, and more or less sound almost the same as a condenser that was here instead, kind of thing. But there are no USB shotgun mics because obviously as soon as you get into exotic mics, it's just XLR all the way, which makes sense. So yeah, the expense of an XLR mic is mostly the fact that you need to buy the audio interface for it as well.
Yeah, but if
that's the gun from the Daleks, yeah.
But if this is any good for 20-30 quid.
Yeah.
I like how instead of having the date code on there, it just says date code.
I see.
Yeah. And also the other thing as well is with these, more specifically this one, just because it's got two separate controls, but you've got headphone out, and you've also got
line outputs.
Yeah, speaker outs.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you... I suppose it would just drive them all at the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference is, as far as I'm aware, the monitoring only comes from the headphones.
Yeah.
The monitoring doesn't go through the rear output.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. Right. Asus Strix have got one. Asus Strix Raid DLX 7.1 surround sound PCIe 1 gaming sound card with DAC 120 600 ohm headphone amp control unit £150.
That's not a bad price.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's any good.
The Focusrite, the Focusrite Scarlett, everyone swears by this thing. It's one of the,
apparently.
And I think this is one of those ones where it's like fine and they're everywhere. But how much is one of these? These are about 100 quid or 150 or something, aren't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I think these things are incredibly popular because they're fit for purpose, and again, about 150 quid.
Yeah.
And just immediately it unlocks a XLR interface, so you can start using the exotic mics, such as your Shure SM7Bs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I think half of the streamers on Twitch run a Shure SM7B and a Scarlett. So.
It's also the XLR input takes.
That's cute. Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice touch.
So you can put your guitar straight into it.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can put your guitar straight into it. You hit the instrument option and then it's done.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And the instrument mode on this is specifically for non-line level outs. So electric guitars, things like that, they're not line level.
Yeah.
But like pianos, keyboards, things like that are generally line level. So you don't need to be.
That's very cool. Yeah.
But yeah. But this is very much more musician focused in all of its branding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's a case of certainly for the average home user, I would still prefer the Go XLR over that because they're about the same price.
Yeah, and the Go XLR has got all of this utility on it.
Or sorry, the Go XLR Mini.
Yes. Yep, that's fair. Let's see. Cosmin Lordake, first time seeing you live, big fan. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a nice day. Hello. Let's see. How to get the best audio from a VCR when recording video on PC. Get a VCR that's actually got AV outputs on it, so there'll actually be a phono jacks on it. What are they called again? RCA. So it's actually got the RCA red, white, and yellow jacks, because that red and white jack will actually give you probably half decent audio, which you can actually get a nice cable for, because you're dealing with analog audio there. So using a decent cable to a half decent input is going to make the difference. That's where you're going to lose all your quality, is in the cables and stuff like that. Or
if you are really if you're really willing to spend the money, look at what the good S-Video Out VCRs were as well.
Yeah.
Because just S-Video Out is a actual proper connector setup and so on.
I've not seen a VCR with S-Video Out, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, they were, because there were... they were the crossover. They were like just after DVD had come out. Yeah, they did some VCRs that had it on, if I remember, or they were Firewire ones. I can't remember, one or the other. And basically those ones, because there was also VHS HD.
VHS at the top end is actually astonishing.
Yeah, the like HD VHS, the completely separate standard that is not VHS, but used tape. Yes, the quality on it is very, very good.
Yeah, not obviously not that it would be advisable versus digital. However, compared to VHS, it's a case of bloody hell. That's on magnetic tape. Yeah, you know.
Well, it's certainly a case of it looks an awful lot better than an awful lot of Blu-rays did. But then that's because an awful lot of Blu-rays were horribly mastered. Yeah, yeah. And there begins the huge debate of what is quality.
Yes.
Also, what the hell is testing this drive?
Can you break out of that? Can you bust out of that? Because we've definitely been sitting here for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. Just crash out of that and then we'll just skip it.
It didn't give an option to skip.
Oh, I hate it.
Be gone.
All right.
Get CD information. I'm going to put in.
Fine. I'll let you deal with that. Let's see.
Oh my God.
S-Video has no audio. It depends on your breakout, I think. S-Video's got an audio stream in it, hasn't it?
I thought it did.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Sure.
I'm fairly certain I've seen S-Video breakout. Little octopus cables that have got a breakout to AV with audio and video. So yeah, I think it depends on the breakout.
Oh my God! Register to get CD track names.
Fine,
No.
we don't care about the track names. We got the heckin' cardboard slipcase here. The enhanced CD includes the first single, "Somewhere I Belong," a 17-minute short film, "The Art of Meteora," plus exclusive access to web-based media and more. Do you reckon the web-based media is still online? We're not looking at that today, but...
Yes, I believe that web-based media is online.
Oh, good for them. If they actually kept that up, yeah. Very well. Somewhere I belong.
That sounds very unhealthy.
Don't know. It's been a while since I've used... Are
we certain this DVD drive works? Because this is just crashed. Because this has just crashed as well.
I tell you what I'm going to do. We've got a DVD drive in here. I'm going to fire this machine up and get what's another app that can rip a CD to FLAC? Something that's not EAC. That I can install on this just as a backup. Yeah, because we're actually I can't believe is it doing anything? I can't believe we're hung up on playing back an audio CD.
But I think it's because the optical drive is faulty because it crashed.
Oh, do you think it's just bollocks? Okay, let me get EAC on this.
Maybe. Because it is making all of the unhappy noises.
I mean, admittedly, it's not tested. I don't think I haven't used that drive. It was just a drive, and I was just like, "Oh, I'll stick a drive in there. We might find that useful at some point."
Yeah.
We haven't actually used it at any point
because it is very much just winding the disc up, stopping the disc, winding the disc up.
Yeah. What was it called again? Easy Audio.
Exact Audio Copy.
Exact Audio Copy. Download.
Yeah.
Download from.
Oh, there you go. It's just giving me an estimated time remaining of 14 hours.
40. Yeah. No. Yeah. The drive must be screwed, mustn't it? Yeah. This Blu-ray drive definitely works because I ripped 40 DVDs on it the other week. Sure. Give me all of that. All right.
Hold on. Just because we've got halfway through, I'm just gonna.
Okay. We're ready on the Leanne.
I'm just gonna see if I can get it to finish this track.
Okay.
And then I'll click cancel.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got one track. Yeah. And the track is going to be like the intro track that just has some mysterious beats that leads into the actual first track. Remember when they used to do that on nu metal? Like, I think only nu metal albums had like an intro, and like they had an intermission track, and then they had the outro track. Yeah, I kind of miss those days because it framed up the album as a full piece of work instead of just a collection of songs.
It's like Robbie Williams released an album that's Swing When You're Winning. The final track, Beyond the Sea. Is a 22-minute long track.
Yeah.
The first 4 minutes of it are the actual song sort of thing, and then there's silence.
Secret track
for like 20 minutes, and then it's just got them like packing up at the end.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I'll give it that. Yeah, I was going to say secret tracks can die in a fire because when you're driving your car and you get to the end of the disc, the last song finishes and you get 15 minminutes of silence before a secret track comes on. You have to either skip the secret track, or you have to try and skip through it. And it was just like, just put another track on the disc, you know. Oh, it annoyed me. Setting things up. All right, I'm going to eject the CD. Can you hear anything? Is it an intro?
It's good enough. It's more than enough because there's a kick drum on there. Listen.
Okay, hang on a sec. Let me get this. I'm going to pull out the cables from the back of this drive and manually eject it in a minute. I'm going to scream. Okay, I'm doing it. Just stop. Stop. Okay, I've pulled the cables out the back. Let me get a pin so I can manually eject it. Bloody things. Anyone remember having to do this?
So, I'll also be honest and say that whilst I have all of Linkin Park's albums on CD, I've never listened to them on CD. So I've always just had the actual like digital audio files.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also just restarted this just in case it did die.
I did just pull out a SATA drive hot plug, which wouldn't impress Windows. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I rebooted.
Yeah.
Please carefully read the options it's giving you.
Right. Okay. Hang on a sec. This audio CD can be used to configure audio rip. Configure accurate rip now will take about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Didn't yours say like 5 minutes?
No, it said like 14 hours.
Okay, well, sure. It's done. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think that drive is very broken.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Sure. I've only speed is important. Sure. Okay, we want FLAC. Oh, actually, or do we want
yeah, do it in FLAC.
Yeah, FLAC is lossless, isn't it? Yeah, good. Okay, there we go.
You can skip that.
Don't care. Make all the options as easy as possible.
There you go.
I just want to rip a CD, man.
Yeah.
When did this get so hassly? Right.
Action, I presume.
Action. Copy selected tracks.
Uncompressed. Yeah, copy.
Uncompressed. Okay, there we go.
Just
we're
chuck them into
cruising.
Downloads, I guess, or something.
Yeah, let's just do it there, and then we can just. It's doing it. We're ripping a CD, everyone. We're doing a piracy.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah. That drive is toast.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so that drive is buggered.
However, please place these headphones on your head.
Okay, right.
Adjust for your comfort.
My soul is ready. 8-bit noises. So that sounded like Bit Crushed Mess.
Yes.
But I don't know what the set track is supposed to sound like.
Not that.
Okay. Interesting. So is that because it can't drive the headphones, though?
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me grab, just to make sure that we don't just have a Bit Crushed Mess.
But yeah.
These aren't going to be charged, are they? Oh, hang on a sec. Let me get my... I'll get my rig, because that will be charged.
All the bows. Oh, no, we don't have Bluetooth. Never mind.
No, yeah.
I forgot we swapped the board. I was just like, but it has Bluetooth. Never mind, it's the wrong board.
USB headset, just to make sure we're not going insane. Put the headphones to the mic so we can hear it too. I might do that in a sec, just to... All right.
Setting up device.
Okay, I have audio. So this sounds a lot better. So clearly it's having difficulty driving those headphones. It still sounds like a... Again, is it supposed to sound Bit Crushed?
No.
Okay, yeah. In that case, the track is screwed.
Loud beeping!
Yeah. Are you done? Oh.
Oh no! Yes, that drive is very broken.
Okay, yeah, so we do actually just have a bit crushed mess. Excellent. Well, an hour and a half into the stream, and we've managed to get a bit crushed mess.
However, we have very much proven a point.
Well, that the DVD drive is screwed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, this isn't very helpful.
No. However, the copy has occurred.
Yes. Okay.
So you may now copy the things.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to grab one of them and... Oh,
if you've got a Type-C.
Yes, stand by.
If not, there you go.
Ah, good. Yep, you got there first. I was going to say there is one around here somewhere, but you got there first. Oh, that's a nice cable. Type-C with just the Type A converter attached to the end of it.
And it does 10, and it does...
Does 10 gig? Oh, yeah, that's very...
Through the converter.
Yeah. Very good.
Did you grab Vegas, not Vegas. The new Vegas from the place?
Yes.
And did you use the new Vegas?
I haven't used it, but I have acquired it, so you may remove it from the place.
Fair enough.
Okay, right.
Dump the stuff from your downloads.
Blah, blah, blah. Give me downloads. Copy.
Wait, they're the only things in your downloads?
Oh, wait. I just did a Control A, yeah. That was a mistake. Right, Control C, there we go.
4 terabytes later. New folder. New folder.
You already have a folder called New Folder on here.
Yes.
I would chastise you, but I do the same thing. So I don't care what the folder is called. It just needs to be a folder. All right. Blur.
Ta-da.
Okay. Right, what are we actually trying to do? We just want to play an audio CD so we can listen to audio quality on various different sound cards. That's literally all we're trying to do. And I'm going insane that it's this difficult. However, we should actually have something that starts moving quickly in a moment.
There you go.
So yes, we now have a FLAC copy of Linkin Park's hit album Meteora. I take it does not sound like a bit crushed mess anymore.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
There you go.
All right.
So when it starts playing, you'll suddenly find out what the noise was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was running water.
Yeah, it is no longer bit crushed. Okay, and it is actually driving the headphones now, so track change. Oh yeah, put it onto an actual track, because now we actually want to listen to this.
That should be the intro to Numb.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so this is Linkin Park Numb. It's all right. It doesn't sound very bass heavy at all, which I'm assuming is the sound card not driving the headphones.
Maybe.
Or either that, or I'm just used to my Corsairs, which are very bass heavy. Have a listen to that. So yeah, it's it's not a bit crushed mess anymore. But as I say, it's not very bass heavy. But I don't know these headphones very well.
Yeah, it's completely missing the kick drum.
Yeah, you know, it's audible, but it doesn't sound like those are decent headphones.
Yeah, it's completely missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are very flat.
Yes.
These are very flat. So they will sound completely different, but also...
Oh, yeah, yeah. Considering how well... That's the thing, like, when you put on headphones that seal like that, it should enclose you in the music, and that's not what I was getting there at all. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So obviously, unfair test. This sound card is not supposed to be able to drive those headphones.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, obviously at this point, so The problem is yeah, we needed some lower end headphones for a really good test. But then if we switch out to the higher end board now, and the higher end board can drive those properly, that immediately says, okay, well now a decent sound card can drive high end headphones. That is a reason to want good audio on your motherboard.
Yeah.
So that gives us our result.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So let's chop out the motherboards then. We can keep the SSD, so we don't need to go through the rigmarole. Now we can just start plugging in test equipment and comparing. So
yeah, the only thing I will need.
Sing along. No, I refuse.
Okay.
R.I.P. Mr. Bennington. Yeah. Yeah. Big sad. You need cable elevators to really know. Yes. Oh God, here we go. I need some wooden blocks that cost $100 each. Cool. Right. Spotify does pretty good sound for most people. I don't know what their tech is these days. I assume they have a high quality stream.
No idea.
So yeah. Right. Okay. What do you want? The gigabyte? Oh yeah. Yeah. We want to go to the ROG, don't we? Yeah. Cool.
Do that.
That.
Would you mind
CPU.
liberating the CPU and some RAM?
I will come around and place the CPU. Where's the thing? Is that? I'm going to lean over you there and go.
It's the 24 pin. Oh. Can you put the 24 pin in?
I sure can. You had it upside down. Ah! That'll be why it didn't want to go in. I've got thermal paste all over my fingers now. Ah.
Who designed these stupid single-side hold downs?
Okay. Oh, stream froze and the stream came back. Fair enough. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to read the chat while Caradog sets this up. Vast majority of what you listen to is this collection of high-quality MP3 files and FLAC stored on your Mi 11 Ultra, Mi 11 Ultra. Yeah, I use Google Music mostly these days, but I want to get back to MP3s.
Well,
because,
you would do if it still existed.
oh yeah, YouTube Music now, I guess, yeah. I do want to get back to MP3s, but I need to find a way of actually hosting my MP3s on something that I can stream, because at the end of the day, one of the reasons why MP3s died out is that it's a pain in the ass to sync them to devices, and a streaming service is just easier. So, can you use Plex for music? I think you can. Yeah, I want to get.
I know you can use Subsonic.
Yeah, because I want to get Plex up and running for video anyway. But yeah, I kind of want.
If you want, you can do that on the place with the thing.
Can you run Plex from that then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It has an integration.
Ah, yeah. Might be interested in that then, yeah, because I wanted to set it up. I just hadn't decided where or what I was going to run it on yet. Because I've got lots of computers to run. I just don't like leaving computers turned on. So yeah. Relatively high output impedance with a relatively low input impedance never works well.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not at all surprising that motherboard struggled with those headphones. However, at the end of the day, if you dropped down to lower end headphones, then you would start becoming headphone limited anyway, I think. So, I don't know. I guess if we'd had like the 80 ohm versions of the DT770s, then that would have been a fairer test. But we have not prepared very well for this, if it's not apparently obvious. So we're kind of just going, okay, well, what can we prove now?
Why is it apparently completely dead?
Don't tell me that the ROG crosshair is giving us trouble.
Well, I've not got... Is the 24 pin actually in properly?
I will double check.
Because we have no RGB.
Oh, no, it's not in properly. Hang on a sec, let me try that again. Oh.
Also, is that the correct 24 pin?
No, it's not. Next question. In my defense, you handed me that 24 pin.
Absolutely. I am at no point attempting to infer this is your mistake.
A mistake has been made. Use Plexamp for music. I see. Let's see. Do we not need multiple systems playing the same music at the same time to compare back and forth? That would be good, but we are not really set up for that. This is a very subjective, non-scientific test. So, yeah, take this for what you will. I mean, to be honest, now we're off of the low-end board. I think what we're going to do now, we're going to test the output from this one, and this is going to be the high-end board versus low-end board test. And I think the high-end board is going to win purely because theoretically this one should be capable of driving the headphones. So that will prove that there is some value in a high-end board. And then we will start doing back and forth tests with the interfaces versus the high-end board. And we will be able to do quicker changeovers with that because we can have them both connected at the same time and just switch outputs on the fly. So that will make it a bit easier to do some quick back and forths. Doo-doo. Spotify Premium is still pretty good as quality as compressed audio goes. That's fair enough. Yeah. Is that good already, is it?
Just listen to the difference. Also, I'm just going to turn it down because...
Yeah, that's a bit loud. That's not changing the volume. You're just banging my eardrums now. Oh, that's completely different. Night and day. Night and day. Yeah. Yeah, like didn't even get into. We were just in the intro where it's just going do 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 do. You know, that sounded like the intro to Casualty. Yeah. Do 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 do. Okay. Like jump it to like halfway through the song and play it again.
Is that a better
Yeah,
volume?
that sounds nice and flat, like how they should sound.
The thing that really surprised me was how thin
I can't hear you at the moment.
Was how thin his voice was.
See, the hi-hats in this are have distortion on them anyway. There's a bit of like it's deliberately supposed to sound like that, but the vocals are incredibly clear, and like you say, the kick drum is very precise.
Yeah,
which is what is catching stuff out. But the important bit is, yeah, that completely decimates the cheap board because this board is capable of driving those headphones. Yeah. So it was an unfair test for the low-end board. However, the fact remains is that this is a reason to want high-end thing. And also, this is the other thing as well, is that like I'm not particularly, I don't bother running high impedance headphones myself. I run USB headset. However, I have often looked at these high-end boards that say, oh, can drive 600 ohm headphones and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, but can you? Because you're not an external interface. You're just a chip on a motherboard. And the answer to that is yes, it absolutely can do it.
Yeah.
So if so this is the thing. If someone came in and said, I've bought 250 ohm headphones, can I plug them into my motherboard? And they say, I have a high-end insert high-end motherboard here. then you can say, yes, you can, and it will sound good.
Yeah, there's a very high likelihood of it being able to do it.
Yeah, because there's probably a lot of people that would turn around and say, no, you have to buy an external DAC for that.
Yeah.
So that is something we have now proven, is that, yes, the high-end motherboard can drive the high-end headphones, and it sounds night and day better than plugging high-end headphones into a trash motherboard.
Yeah.
So, test proven.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turnip Gaming, thank you for the $5. Good evening, lads. You got an early Christmas present from your mum, which was the Corsair Void Elite Surround, and now you understand why I like them. Yeah, I like the Corsair Void. You know, it's a gaming headset, so obviously we are using a completely different animal in this stream. However, I'm a big fan of the Corsair Voids. I think they're very comfortable. I think they're very good all-rounders. I'm not going to say that they're studio quality headphones, but as a gaming headset, I think it's very good. One of the things I like about it is that I think the Corsair Void actually has a decent sounding mic on it. So when you're actually in voice calls, you don't sound like complete arse. So, yeah. You'd buy the Void Elite if they made an ANC version? Yeah, I've not seen any ANC gaming headsets, actually. Does such a thing even exist?
What's ANC again?
Active noise cancellation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But then the Corsair Voids can seal reasonably well, depending on your head shape. So, yeah. All right, I'm now going to have a look through. You guys could hear it as well. Yeah, hopefully it was background enough that we don't get copyright struck for that. Shush. Mike's Unboxing says, used to work for the BBC Casualty and was hoping to never hear that intro ever again. Excellent.
But one thing you say about these being studio quality headphones.
Yeah.
If you look at the BBC Live Lounge recordings, they're all wearing these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Yes, Anya, those are Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pros.
Yes.
So how much is a pair of those? They're not that expensive,
£100?
are they? Yeah.
Maybe 110?
Yeah, like £100, 110.
Mid-pandemic, I think they went up to like 130.
Yeah, and that's for something that is considered studio quality, you know. Like, again, there's going to be higher... If you're in a studio doing mastering, you're probably going to have more expensive headphones. However, for £100, you're not going to top that. You know, like people pay £100 for a gaming headset. I'd pay £100 for a gaming headset.
Yeah.
And that, whereas the Bayer Dynamics, this is why some people get into the whole mod mic scene. Because if you go into the territory of mod mics, you could buy some DT770 Pros like this for £100. And then mod mic, you could just stick a little high quality microphone to the side of it. And now you have a gaming headset. You know, and that's probably going to cost you like £200 all in. But that would get you studio quality headphones with your mod mic kind of thing. So that's where that kind of stuff starts coming from. Was Sony Minidisc a thing in the UK? It was.
Yes.
Yep, Sony Minidisc was a thing.
It did well.
Yep.
It did quite well here.
Yep, my sister had a Minidisc player, which I used quite extensively. And yeah, I recorded Minidiscs, and also I didn't buy any myself, but my sister did own a couple. Because if you went into a CD shop, they wouldn't have a huge selection, but they'd have a stand with mini discs on it. So yeah, mini disc was a thing. It was really good as well. It was a very good option because mini disc bridged the gap. Because at the time when mini disc was around, MP3 players did exist, but they weren't there yet. Is the short answer.
Did you ever go into HMV?
HMV, yeah.
His master's voice.
Yeah.
With your mini disc player, go to their machine, purchase the album, connect your machine via USB, and it download the tracks onto your mini disc player.
No, was that really a thing?
Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, that's cool, because back when MP3 players were first coming to the market, that's what they thought it was going to be. You'd go into the shop and you'd download your CD directly onto your MP3 player and walk out listening to it. Of course, that didn't happen. You downloaded it from the internet and you never went to the store in the first place, and the store closed down. That's what actually happened. However, I didn't realise those machines did actually exist for mini discs. That's cool. Right. Groovy. All right. So we've done our. What are you doing now?
Seeing what temperature the CPU's at because it's a 5950X.
Oh, okay, that's understandable. Fair enough. He was in hardware info, and I'm like, are you overclocking the RAM?
No, it's a 5950X with no thermal paste.
Yes.
on a what is that? Arctic 7?
Arctic 7, yeah. Good, fine. Let's see. Minidisc got killed by Sony when they refused to let them use them as digital storage for MP3. Yeah, like I agree that was
yeah.
I agree that was missing the point of minidisc, but also it was a matter of MP3 was significantly more convenient because you had to record a minidisc in real time. You had to hook it up to your CD player. And
to actually record them.
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
that's it.
You could just digital transfer.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had the setup for that though.
Yeah.
You know, whereas most people, myself included, were doing. I can't remember how I did it. I think I was real time recording. You know, but that was no big deal for me because I grew up with a dual cassette boombox, recording tracks off of the radio. So yeah. I know my face is youthful, but I am nearly 40, and that's a very depressing thought. Ugh. Anyway, Caradog needs to overclock the audio bitrate. Yeah, you just re-record it, and it turns into that quality.
Yeah.
Shut. Let's see. Graham, second go. What are you listening to at present? I'm kind of between music at the moment, actually. The past week, actually, when I've been walking to and from work, I've kind of been getting my phone out and being like, I don't know what I want to listen to. However, to give a straight answer to the question, this morning I put on Tool. There's a really good playlist for Tool on YouTube Music called Presenting Tool. And it's a very, very good representation of Tool, basically. So, yeah. Highly recommend it. If you've always wanted to, if you've heard of Tool, the band, but you've been like, I don't know where to start, check out the Presenting Tool playlist on YouTube Music, and that will tell you what Tool is all about. It really does have their best stuff on it. So yes. Right. That's their whole discography, right? Well, I think any Tool fan will know that not all of their stuff is accessible, shall we put it. Some of their stuff is an acquired taste. Whereas Presenting Tool has definitely got a very strong showing of their strong, accessible tracks that most people will like. But also it's got a mixture of old and new on there as well. And they're quite well balanced. It's a good playlist as well because it's got like a heavy hitter, then it's got some of their more slightly more out there ones, but that's then followed up by a strong accessible track again. So at no point does the playlist lose you, because just as you're being like sort of, okay, this one's a little bit odd, it'll come back with another banger kind of thing, you know. So yeah. Cool. Tool is superb as are live. Oh yeah. I like Live's The Distance to Here. I don't like any other album that Live have done. But yeah. Interestingly, I'm going to go and see Roixop in February with my brother-in-law.
Good.
Yeah, my sister was like, Matt wants to go see Roixop. Do you want to go with him? And I was like, sure. I've not listened to Roixop in a very long time.
I've never even heard of them.
Okay.
Are they German?
Probably. I don't know.
And is it actually pronounced Reichstop?
I believe it's. I think the K might be silent. I'm trying to cut the K, but I think it might just be completely silent, and it's just Roixop. But yeah. Roixop are fantastic live, says Nikolai. Awesome. So yeah. Didn't get Tool's last album. They only released it as a stupidly priced box set. Oh, that's a bit depressing. I have to admit, I haven't caught up on them recently. So yeah, but yeah. Disturbed anyone? Oh, I've always got time for Disturbed. If I'm honest,
I have only actually listened to their greatest hits album. That's it.
That's fair. That's probably got all their bangers on it.
Absolutely, but like
so, yeah.
that's all I've ever listened to of theirs. So I don't call myself a Disturbed fan. I'm just like,
fair.
I like their stuff, but I'm definitely not a fan of theirs because I've not listened to anything that isn't a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like you can't call yourself a fan when you're just like, I like the songs that made #1.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as I say, if nothing else, it's a case of you've listened to some of it and you liked it. You just haven't sought out more, you know. Yeah. Disturbed are good, because it frustrates me. I lost interest slightly because when Disturbed did The Sound of Silence, their cover of The Sound of Silence, it went super viral and it was a bit try-hard, that cover.
It's such a good cover.
It is a good cover.
Such a good cover.
Yeah. But I just felt it was slightly try-hard. I preferred some of their other covers, like Land of Confusion. But they do one cover.
Such a good cover.
It was a good cover, yeah. They do one cover per album. That's one of the really cool things about them. Is each album they do has got one cover song on it, and yeah. Also, just because Land of Confusion was just such a oddball cover for them to do.
Is it though?
I guess not.
It's 100% on brand.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just that's just not someone you'd expect a band to cover, you know, because it was is Land of Confusion Genesis or Phil Collins?
No, it's Genesis.
It's Genesis, yeah.
What?
Now unlocked. You're eligible for a free upgrade to Windows 11. Oh, it's the Windows 11 free upgrade.
What?
I've not seen that come up like that before.
No, neither have I.
Anyway, off you fuck. Is the,
Decline.
So, you'll stay on Windows 10. Yes.
Continue to Windows 10.
Yes. For a moment, I thought you were going to have to go through a slideshow of what you're missing out on. And I was about to get really angry with Microsoft.
What?
So yeah.
That was actually shockingly obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, Fear Inoculum, yeah. Fear Inoculum is Tool's latest album. I have to admit, it didn't grab me. I listened to it on YouTube Music. Wasn't smitten.
I wonder if that's just because we've swapped boards 3 times, so it actually thinks it's 3 different computers.
Maybe.
And it's just like, what is going on? I've never listened to these headphones on this board.
Fair enough, yep. Land of Confusion was written for Spitting Image. I doubt it. I'm pretty certain that it predates it. I mean,
Spitting Image is literally the music video.
Let's back up a bit. Spitting Image was a satirical sketch TV show.
Yeah.
But I thought it was more recent than Land of Confusion, or was it from the same era?
I've only ever seen a version of it that is the same era.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a more recent version.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that there was a direct connection between the Land of Confusion video and Spitting Image.
I mean, it's the Spitting Image style and puppets and so on is the music video.
Yes.
So
I knew it was the same style, but yeah.
Yeah. So I can't comment beyond that, but just a case of,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely at least
Jason thought Sound of Silence was god-awful, yeah. I thought it was good, but like I say, I just found it a little bit try-hard. You know, it's like sometimes Disturbed can be... can you remember the name of the singer from Disturbed? I forget his name. No, fair enough. But the singer from... Sometimes he can get a bit like... You know, and I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea, but it was very good. Personal thing. So yeah. Sonic Youth. I haven't listened to much Sonic Youth. They had I think they had a song on the Matrix soundtrack, which was an absolute banger. I might be thinking about Sonic Mayhem. No, I'm thinking of Sonic Mayhem. Ignore me.
This is the other reason I don't like onboard audio.
Oh, because of the...
Because there isn't just a headphone option.
True, yeah. Does it make a tremendous difference? Is it overdriving them or something?
Well, the reason is because some of the time it would only send some of the audio to some of the headphones.
Oh, I see.
Or to some of the outputs.
Yeah. What does it think is happening at the moment? It thinks you're in the subwoofer output, but you're...
Yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah.
Center sub.
Yeah. Oh, line out. That's... Yeah, line out would be your head. Why are you not just using line out?
Because I plugged into each of them and it popped up with different options and none of them came up with headphone.
Oh, I see. You were just seeing if it would just auto-detect as headphones.
I was seeing if I could get any of them to headphone.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's probably adequate.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this... Well, yeah, this is a mid-range board. So we're... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it different again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a listen.
Huh.
Okay, so we're now. So this is an Aorus Master S. No, sorry, an Aorus Master. Yeah. So this is a decent board, but it's not a top-end board like the Crosshair Hero Extreme. So this should have decent audio. So this is an interesting test to see if a mid-range board is. This is mid-range audio. It's nothing to write home about, but it's decent. You know. Well, actually, it's got the Weimer capacitors on it and stuff like that. Gigabyte have got a fetish for film capacitors on their motherboards. So, yeah, they're very proud of that. It's not as good, no.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the Asus.
Yeah.
Or the Asus.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah. So now I want to know: does this board claim to be able to drive 250 ohm headphones?
I've no idea.
Yeah, I'm going to find out.
But yeah, I just thought that was quite
Gigabyte Aorus X570 Master. X570 Aorus Master. There we go. Rev 1 specification. Tell me about the audio. It's an ALC 1220 VB. And it has a dedicated DAC.
Yeah.
So does it say? Sometimes they'll just tell you what it supports. I might have to go to key features actually. Key features. Tell me about the audio. Design concept. Yada yada yada. Audio. Because basically the question now is: does it claim to be able to drive high impedance headphones? Because if it does, then that means that this is a loser, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it claims to be able to drive high impedance headphones, but is audibly not as good as the Crosshair.
I don't know if that's a software thing as well, just because obviously we had that thing come up.
Yeah. If it doesn't claim to be able to drive high impedance headphones, then I'll give it a pass. However, it does say it has a dedicated DAC. So yeah. High-stream dynamic range, SNR 125 dB. I don't know what these specifications actually mean. I'll level with you. Right.
Immersive gaming vibes.
Yeah. It doesn't mention headphone impedance. So yeah, it has a dedicated DAC, but it doesn't have dedicated amps. And I think you need the dedicated amps for the high impedance headphones. Someone in the chat might be able to correct me on that. So yeah. But if nothing else, that does prove that the mid-range board does suffer. Like whether or not it claims to be able to do it, it is not as good as the high-end board. I'm surprised there's this much difference, but then we again, unfair test because we've got high impedance headphones. But
it's also a case of they're the headphones you'd be using if you actually cared.
Yeah, I guess. But then there are 80 ohm versions of those headphones, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So theoretically, we should run these tests again with lower impedance, decent headphones and see what happens then. But certainly, if you want to run high impedance headphones, the difference is night and day. Like I'm having, even without doing blind tests, it's very, very obvious. Like there's that. I thought these tests we'd have to be like sort of, I'm not sure it sounds good. Does that sound all right to you, kind of thing? But as soon as you put them on, you can immediately tell there is a difference here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting to me.
It's also a case though. I just don't know if the difference is just in like if the difference is in the EQ.
It could be, but then
which
also though we then have to ask the question. Okay, well. We're running just we haven't done anything with these setups.
Oh yeah,
this is
absolutely.
out of the box setup. So this is what most people can expect to hear.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in the sense of it invalidates our results. Just a case of it might not be a hardware difference. It could be an EQ difference.
Yeah. So it might be that you could dial out some of this difference in software. However, obviously.
The problem is I don't know what the difference is, if that makes sense.
Yes, I would not be capable of doing it. Yeah, an actual sound engineer would probably be capable of dialing out some of this difference, but again, these tests are intended for people who aren't sound engineers and just plug in a pair of headphones and hope they sound good, you know. Yeah. So, all right, so let's try some of the audio interfaces then.
The back-to-back comparison is. This, I think. Yeah.
So now it'll be interesting. Yeah, if we go through this one and we regain the quality we've lost by plugging into the external interface, that would be very interesting. I'm going to catch up with chat. DAX just what converts data in analog. You know, it gets put into the amp to drive the speakers or headphones. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, it's got a nicer DAC in it, but if it doesn't have the dedicated amplifier, that doesn't mean anything to high impedance headphones, because that seems to be the restriction that we're up against here, is how good the amplifier is, not how good the DAC is. Defo, you'd be interested in more audio testing? Yeah, don't know how much we're going to get into this, just because that's the thing. We're not sound engineers, so I feel like we're not really qualified for this. We're just two laymen, but we just happen to have access to equipment. So... All right, here we go. So,
and then twiddle the little one to set volume.
All right, so this is the focus, right? Hit it. And just tap in a little bit.
There you go.
This is emo music. It'd be like this. I need to hear it on the onboard again.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Okay, so switch to the onboard audio. That's making me doubt. Whoops.
Clunk.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. There we go. I just crashed it by moving. I'm going to put another screw in this. Oh, my God. There's no screws. Carry on.
It wasn't a problem for me. It's the professional, I don't know.
I'm going to screw the motherboard in so it doesn't move. We only have 2 screws here. You only needed 2 screws. Just to stop it falling off the posts. All right. Right, we'll try that again in a minute. So the Focusrite didn't change my world there. It's making me doubt my, it's making me doubt the difference between that board and the Crosshair now. So yeah, I'm going to want to hear the difference between the audio interface, is audio interface and the onboard there, and then the Focusrite versus the Crosshair, I think. Because I find it difficult to believe that the Focusrite is not as good as or better than the Crosshair. That can't be a thing unless something has gone terribly wrong, I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about EQ.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Could be a setup issue is why the Focusrite doesn't seem to sound right. Either that or I'm mistaken and I've got confirmation bias because this isn't blind testing. So yeah, obviously restrictions in test methodology here. RIP motherboard. It's fine. It's okay. Right.
Okay.
Onboard audio again. Okay, and interface. Standby. Yeah, the Focusrite is definitely cleaner. Yeah, that I definitely heard it that time. It's in the weeds. It's not the night and day difference like the cheap motherboard to the Crosshair, but the Focusrite is definitely superior there. Are you expecting something? Oh, it's an Amazon delivery. Is it going to be another audio interface?
It's going to be another pair of headphones.
Oh my god! Okay.
I will speak to the Amazon.
Because I saw you very concerningly checking your phone there. It's just another pair of headphones is arriving, everyone. All right, well, I'll catch up on chat while we do that. Right. The Focusrite is USB powered.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. You too. Have a good evening.
So, should we create an audio thread on the Discord? If there was demand for it, we could do. So yeah. Oh, he needs a signature. Yeah.
Do you need a code? No, please signal. Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see. Convenience is the key to how most people listen to audio these days. Yeah, I agree. Crosshair has some real audio stuff on it. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does have the usual codec chip. That's the interesting thing. It literally because the Crosshair's audio chip is just a rebranded Realtek. However, it will also have discrete amplifiers on it, and I think that is what is making the difference for it, is that it actually has discrete amplifier chips instead of relying on the Realtek to do the amplification. And yes, Fostex. See, when Muerto said Fostex, I was like, I don't know what that is. However, yeah. Were you guys talking about this beforehand or something? I see. All right, we've got some Fostex semi-open, flat and clear 50 ohm headphones. Understandable. And some different pads. All right. I guess I'll unbox these. You could have said at any time, it's all right, there are some new headphones on the way. But no, you deliberately kept me in the dark on that.
Well, because I expected it to be like the normal way that happens with Amazon deliveries when they say, this will be delivered at 12, this will be delivered at 2.
Oh yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Yeah.
This will be delivered at 4:30, this will be delivered at 5, this will be delivered by 7. And then it went, you're the next stop, and I was just like, oh!
Very good. So, how much were these?
I don't know. They were £109.
Fair enough. I can see why you'd want some different pads on those. Those are very conservative leather pads.
Is red left or black left?
I don't know. I assume red is right. Because that would be logic and reason. Yeah, those ear pads are horrendous. I'd be very disappointed if I just bought those. I can see why. Did Muerto say get some ear cups for them? Yeah, I can see why.
I will re-mic in a second.
Okay, no problem.
See, they're fine for me. They're absolutely fine for me, but they are not isolating in the slightest.
No, they're not isolating, and if I had those on for an hour, I'd be like, I want to take these off. I mean, obviously, this is the gamer in me speaking, but like on a Sunday when I'm sitting at home, I'm probably going to sit in front of my computer literally all day on a Sunday afternoon. So I might be sitting in front of my computer for 8 or 10 hours straight. So at that point, you know, if you have bad headphones, there's one. They are directional.
Are they?
Yeah, that side is thicker than the other side.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. So, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, comfort is king. If I've got a pair of headphones, like this is actually the reason why I don't run the Rig 800 at home.
I don't think these will work.
When I wear these headphones, they are very clamping and they're great around the shop because I can move around without them falling off. But these get uncomfortable after a couple of hours for me. So yeah. White left, red right, yes. And yes, Caradog's mic is still off because he's tinkering. Oh no, he's mic'd back up now.
I have just remiked.
Yeah. Do you want me to have a go?
I don't think they'll work just because
I was going to say those look very different. Oh wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Let me have a look to see if I can bully those. Yeah, I have a feeling these cups will just not fit. I'll see if I can. They might stretch, but I have done this a couple of times myself.
I will blame Moetto for everything, for all of it. I like that it's orange.
It is aggressively orange, isn't it? Ooh.
It matches.
Ah, yes.
For my phone that actually has.
Ah, yes. That's not going to happen, no.
No.
Nope. Nope, that's a shame. That's fine. That doesn't stop the headphones from working.
No, indeed.
Oh yeah, original. They will go on. You must abuse them, however. Okay. Yes. We will consider that.
We will consider that later.
Yes. I'm not going to do that now, though, because that's very much a case of you will need to spend an hour wrestling those on. And it will involve a lot of swearing and heavy breathing as you go... you know, so.
You bastard!
The originals, I should be able to get on fairly easily. Ah. Almost. Almost. There we go. And there's an extension cable here, I believe.
Now you can do your AB.
That is an extension. It's a 3.5 to 1/4 inch.
Yeah. Now
Cool.
you can do an AB between the headphones.
All right, I will do an AB between the headphones. Oh yes, I see. All right, so can you have the music coming out of both of them at the same time?
Should do.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Hit it then.
I've not actually tested this, however,
Yeah.
should do.
Right, I have audio here. Let me just adjust those a little bit.
There you go.
You just cut from the drop to mid verse, so that was the opposite of what I needed. I just let it play.
And then
these sound very nice.
It's the big one for the volume on the back.
The bass guitar is very noticeable here. Yeah, those sound very good, and yeah, I have these as well.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's less bass on these, and some of this is just going to be different models of headphone characteristics. The quality is both good.
Yeah.
However, theoretically, those should be significantly easier to drive.
In theory,
so we may be able to attain that same level of quality on the lower end board.
In theory, yeah.
Differences in the driver, they're planar magnetic drivers. Fair enough. I don't know a lot about the technology for driving headphones. As far as I'm concerned, it's what do they sound like? I don't really care how the sound is produced. Let's see.
Yeah. That is good, though.
I would definitely want different cups on those. However, they sound good. So the Fostex are semi-open.
Yeah, they're definitely far more transparent.
Good day, everyone. Hello, David Weldon. Earbuds kill your ears quickly. I don't get on with earbuds either. Earbuds either don't seal for me, or I tried.
The only ones I get on with are the Google ones.
Yeah, I tried a whole bunch of in-ear modules a while back. A whole bunch of Bluetooth in-ear modules, and none of them fitted my ear canals. Like I tried. I wasn't messing around. I was putting on the different size things and going, I cannot get these to fit in any meaningful way. You know, just did not fit. Just straight out. Focus right interface has always served you good? Yes. What are those? Okay.
And that's these plugged into the
okay,
motherboard.
that's on there. That's the end of the song. Right. Yeah, see on the motherboard audio now, it doesn't feel like it's struggling like it was with the Bears. The bass drum is fully there, and the bass guitar has a nice round curve to it again. Instead of being a tap on the string, you actually get that proper boom, 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 you know, which was starting to get lost in these. And it's still there on the chorus when there's a lot more going on. So, there was a cymbal crash just then that it sounded slightly off, but again, I'm not sure if that's in the song.
Yeah.
However, yeah, those sound better on the onboard audio than the DT770s do, I think.
Very softly.
I'm doing that on purpose because obviously with the headphones on, I can't tell if I'm shouting or not.
With the headphones on, you were speaking like this, and then you took them off and started speaking
really?
like this.
I thought I was speaking softly with them on. I was trying my hardest. I thought I was being sensible, but actually I was going, ba 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 ba. Oh well.
So the back-to-back comparison we need to do is this.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it really?
Before we swap out motherboards again, Shall we try a quick comparison between the Focusrite and the Behringer interface?
Yeah. Have you got a USB A to B?
What's that? Yeah, AB. Yeah, I'll have one somewhere. Let me grab one. Tell you what, I'm going to quickly grab this one because I know this will come. Oh no, that one is cable tidied. There's one.
Cool. Oh, excuse me.
It doesn't have gold-plated connectors, I'm afraid.
Scandalous.
Bait failed.
Scandalous. It's okay. I have gold everywhere else.
I'll let you do that. It's not a two-man job.
There you go. Have an AB set up for headphones again.
Aha. I'll wait for you to plug it in and before I go, I can't hear anything.
There you go.
That's nice that the Behringer has basically the same functionality as the Scala, except with only one XLR.
Yeah.
And obviously, for most people, one will be enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other thing that's nice is now that I've connected this to their software, it works without their software.
Oh, okay, yes.
Because it didn't work until you installed their software.
Okay, yeah, it needs a driver.
Dead.
Yeah. The software installs a driver for it then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But now that I've done that on my computer at home,
afterwards.
I don't need it on this computer.
Cool. All right. Testing.
I don't like that this doesn't identify what it is. It just says USB audio codec.
It's nice when it tells you the model, isn't it? Especially when you have a lot of stuff connected to the computer, which you do on content creator machines.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to be struggling.
I like that it's doing both of them. I think we might just be picking up on the microphones.
All right. And yeah, to be honest, I'm just hearing the differences in the characteristics of the headphones.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that was kind of a point of obviously we've got both headphones now, so we can listen to this and then go, right, what's the difference on two different sets of headphones?
Yeah.
So we've got that and kind of go, okay.
However, at the very least, the Behringer doesn't seem to be struggling with the 250 ohm headphones.
Yeah.
So yeah, that proves that a 20 quid Behringer audio interface is entirely viable.
Yeah, and then does it sound similar to this? Is then the question, you know, in the sense of, is it a case of, well, yes, it drives it for 20 quid, but it sounds awful, so yes, you need to spend the extra money.
Yeah.
That's kind of my question to you listening to just the two of them.
Yeah. I think we'd be down in the weeds there and we'd have to start doing double blind tests.
Yeah. So,
I don't think I could swap between those and then say yes, no. I would need a blind test where I'm going one, then the other without even seeing what headphones I'm using, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. But a case of the difference is that close at a casual listen.
Yeah.
That the £100 more that this is doesn't give you anything for listening to the headphones.
Yeah. Although that was 20 quid second hand, right?
Yeah, and I think it's like £30 new.
Really?
Or like £35 new.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's fit for purpose. Like, I'm sure that a sound engineer could find sins in the Behringer.
Yeah,
However,
absolutely.
At face value, you know, plugging that in and putting on the headphones, I'm just like, yeah, these sound fine, you know.
Yeah.
Again, versus the cheap motherboard, where it was a case of no, that's not fit for purpose. That just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. Although obviously fit for purpose is kind of a low bar. However, if I you know, when I put the Fostex on my head there, I'm just like, yeah, those sound good, you know, and the Beyer Dynamics, those sound a bit flatter, but I like a bit of bass in headphones, and the Fostex have got that bit more bass in them.
Yeah.
But again, this is something you could EQ out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
The Beyer Dynamics are intended to be a very unbiased headphone. So they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So yeah, I like the sound of the Fostex more at vanilla, but you could EQ it out. Yeah. However, certainly the Behringer interface seems to be driving both of them just fine. So yeah, fine. Okay then. Power cables can make a massive improvement in sound. I think the difference in that would be silent noise. Someone earlier on mentioned, oh, you should listen to silence as well. So what the hiss and the noise floor is like.
Yeah.
That, I think sound would start mattering if we, or power would start mattering for the noise floor. I don't think it's going to make a meaningful difference in audio quality, but more so much when there's nothing playing. And that might include dynamic range and stuff like that. You know, obviously, when we're on the chorus of Numb, the noise floor is basically irrelevant. However, if we're on something that's got a lot of dynamic range and there's a quiet section of the song, then it's really going to matter. There's a song by, what's it called? Hang on a sec, I need to Google search.
Yeah, there's certainly no hiss at maximum volume on that.
Yeah. Song. Oh no, I can't remember the name of the band. Oh, that's annoying now. There's a band that I like that I've not listened to in a hot minute. And they have a song that has a very, very quiet intro to it. But when you listen, and on bad quality stuff, it just sounds like silence. But when you listen to it on a decent stereo, you can actually hear that there's a lot of background environmental sound there that you're not hearing that leads into the song. And that is, again, a very good test of noise floor, because on a bad system, there'll be a lot of hiss there, whereas on a good one, you'll hear all those sounds clearly that you just didn't know were there.
Yeah.
If you'd only ever listened to it on bad headphones or like laptop speakers, you would just never know that there was audio there. You just think it's got silence at the start of the song.
Yeah.
But it's actually got a very evocative intro where you're just like, whoa. You know, like the first time I heard it, I was like, I thought this had just a silent intro, you know. Yeah. That would be a very good test for it, but no. You guys aren't going to find it because I forget. So yeah, as I say, power is going to matter. However, not in the chorus, which is mainly the bit that I'm listening to. I'm listening to the vocals, which have a little bit of hiss on them in the recording, and that's just you know that's just the vocals having a bit of, you know, for the sound of a tongue, you know. I'm also listening to the bass guitar, because the bass guitar should have a nice booming sort of bomb, bomb, bomb to it. And also the crash of the cymbal crash and stuff like that. Are you testing it versus YouTube now?
Huh.
Meaningfully different?
I'm impressed as to how similar it sounds.
Okay, yeah.
There's a different mixing, I feel. It feels like a slightly more compressed mix.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like the actual, the dynamic range is slightly is slightly curtailed.
It is. It's the dynamic range that's missing there.
But
yeah,
I am amazed as to how close that is.
The quality is very good. Yeah,
it's
the dynamic range
shocked
that is missing
for a YouTube video from 2007.
Yeah. Although that's on the official Linkin Park. It might have had a re-upload.
I would have expected them to have re-uploaded it not 360p then.
Oh, is it not in HD?
No, it's limited to 360p.
Oh, that's very impressive then. That's another thing that is actually very good, because YouTube used to absolutely mangle the audio on anything below 1080, because a lot of people uploading bedroom, small music producers just working out their bedrooms, uploading to YouTube, they used to have to say, please, please, please switch to 1080p. Otherwise the audio is mangled, and that's not the case there.
Which is surprising.
Yeah, so it's good to see that YouTube have improved that.
It's also just good to see how well that stands up compared to the CD.
Yes.
But also proves the point that there is a difference to the CD.
Yeah. As I say, the dynamic range is the thing there. The quiet and the loud bits, it was a louder to quieter difference, when a chord on the guitar plays and goes bah, from the silent to the loudest part of it was much bigger range on the CD version, whereas the YouTube one, it didn't get as loud even with the volume turned up, if you see what I mean. So yes.
Huh. I've never seen that before.
The following content may contain topics related to suicide or self-harm. Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's
content warnings. Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's Linkin Park.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, 240p.
Wow. Yeah. I see. Okay. Cool. So.
Huh. Yeah. There's no immediate in-your-face defect on that.
Yeah, and this is at 240p apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much I trust that, just because, again, YouTube might have, when you're massive, you're allowed to do re-uploads. And especially for music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we don't know if these are edge cases.
Oh, absolutely. No, but just a statement of I am impressed as to the quality of the sound from these YouTube videos compared to the CD, but also just the fact that the CD is a step better.
Yeah.
Again, but you are not losing out by listening to the YouTube version.
Yeah. Even if it's an edge case, it's still impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that was the point I was wanting to make there. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough then. Okay then. Right. So I think, how are we doing? We've been live for 2.5 hours. Shall we drop back to the peasant motherboard and compare the headphones to see if the Fostex 850 ohm headphones sound good on the peasant motherboard?
Yeah, because these are 50 ohm, aren't they? Yeah, they are.
So theoretically, the peasant motherboard should have no issues driving these. And so if these sound really good, and we already know that the Beyerdynamics sound like ass on the crap motherboard because it can't drive them.
Yeah.
So if the Fostex sound good, that proves that you can get good audio from a bad sound card if you don't buy high impedance headphones.
Yeah.
That is the expected result. But if these sound like junk on the bad motherboard as well, then that seals the fact that bad audio is literally bad audio. And that would be a very, very interesting result to me. That's the thing that would make me actually give a damn, I think. Because so far, these tests are interesting, but I am not concerned enough with audio quality to worry about this stuff, mainly because I use a gaming headset, which won't benefit from it anyway. You know. However, if the bad motherboard can't drive these headphones, that would change my mind.
Yeah.
That would definitely change my opinion. So yeah. What model is the Behringer? The Behringer is, oh my God. It's a Euphoria. That's spelled the letter U, Phoria UMC22. Conceived and designed by Behringer, Germany. Conceived. We gave birth to this.
I was going to say, that's very Apple-sounding wording.
Yeah, don't pat yourself on the back too much, Behringer. You're not that good, and everyone knows it. However, yeah, it was fit for purpose, this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be interesting. I feel like we could do a similar comparison with some of these audio interfaces. Now we have them with some other XLR mics, because it may interest you to know. I've got the cheapest you can buy on Amazon XLR condenser mic at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like £30 for an XLR condenser mic, an XLR to USB converter, a boom arm, and a pop filter. And I was like, for 30 quid, I know it's going to be bad, but if nothing else, it gives me another boom arm and a pop filter, which I would use anyway.
Yeah.
However, unsurprisingly, the microphone on that XLR to USB interface, it sounded awful. It was absolutely terrible. But it would be interesting to hear if the microphone sounded any good on these audio interfaces, because that would let us know if it was just a bad converter or whether the really cheap and nasty XLR condensers actually work or not. So that might be another interesting test. Not something we can do today, but that's something I'm kind of interested to do while we have all of this equipment on hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes. Right, going through the chats. UMC22 is pretty good for the price. Yeah, like I say, I think if you gave this to an actual sound engineer, they'd probably scoff. But for 30 or 40 quid,
yeah,
I think that's difficult to argue with. You know, again, you have to judge something based on its value proposition. As well, yeah. And if nothing else, the Behringer is a very strong value proposition. It was capable of driving high-end headphones to the point where I couldn't hear any major issues with it. Again, I'm not a sound engineer, but I didn't listen to that and immediately go, that sounds like ass. When we had the Beyerdynamics on this motherboard, just straight away, I was like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds wrong. Just straight away, you know. So yeah. Yeah, Behringer is junk. Every sound engineer knows that. But is it fit for purpose? We're not talking about what, like, if you go into a studio, their headphones cost £5,000, not £50, you know. So it depends on the scale that we're looking at. We're not looking at actual recording studio quality stuff. We're looking at consumer / prosumer stuff, something that someone would buy at home and go, will this give me a good headphone experience versus a gaming headset? That's the area that we're looking at here. So yeah. Right. Any PC audio equipment that's reasonably priced will typically please most people. Those that have a different ear will pay loads to achieve more greatness. Yeah, I think that's it. Bob hit the nail on the head there. You know, like I said, my Corsair Void headset, it's not the best. I know it's not the best because when I listen to it, I can hear the deficiencies on it and I can hear the hiss in the background when there's nothing playing.
I would have sent those straight back.
That's what you get with a USB wireless gaming headset.
Oh,
you know.
No. Because I sit with my headphones on but nothing playing for 99% of the time.
Yeah, I mean they do have a no sound playing mute. So you know, obviously, if there's just no audio, they will just switch off, kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
I don't mean power off, but you know, but you can hear the hiss in the low dynamic range, or the bottom, the quiet, if you see what I mean. However, it's a case of I use them because they're incredibly convenient as a gaming headset. Yeah. You know, if I wanted to listen to music at maximum quality, I'm not going to use a gaming headset to do that. Yeah. That's dumb and stupid. You know. So yeah. Let's see. Right. Yeah, so Behringer is not junk. It's just not comparable with studio stuff that costs 10 times the price. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know. However,
it's also the case of everyone. You know, certainly the comment for all of the stuff I've ever seen is the fact that it's not good, and it's a case that in my limited experience of that microphone that you've got, and this, and something else, is just been a case of just being like, actually, seems all right.
Well, that's the thing.
Certainly,
it's like I mentioned
when it's kind of like newer gear.
Yeah.
It seems very, very good for the cheapest you can realistically make something before it starts becoming a bit crap.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, the Neewer lights we use here, we had a conversation about these before. If you compare them to like some small rig lights, the small rig lights will make a complete mockery of these. However, these are also doing a completely adequate job of lighting up our set here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mentioned it earlier on in the stream that I have a Behringer USB condenser mic at home that I use for my Twitch streams. And if you want to hear what that sounds like, check out my Twitch streams. I will be streaming tomorrow. Let me do the thing. Yeah, exactly.
So I think the thing that would be quite good is if you are going to do that, is if you take that home. And just so you can do, this is the countdown timer, me chatting on this microphone. And now I've swapped over to the normal mic I use for streaming.
Well, it might be an interesting test, yeah.
And just demonstrate that actually they sound reasonably similar.
Yeah, the main difference is in the amount of gain that the Behringer needs. You know. So when you hear me on Twitch, you know, I like to think that my Twitch audio sounds really good. I think it sounds pretty decent personally. However, that Behringer mic needs 10 decibels of gain, and it's that close to my face. You know, so it's to that perspective, it's bad. However, if you give it 10 decibels of gain and put it right in front of your face, it sounds pretty good.
Oh, so, I would be disappointed.
What, with this?
Yeah.
Oh, is it that bad? I'm ready to be impressed. Oh, the game started. Yeah. The game stutter. We're getting closer to that. We've nearly solved that. All right. Here we go. All right. Intro. I'm going to let the intro roll.
Right?
It sounds compressed.
It's also just...
It's lifeless. Yeah, it's... Yeah, the dynamic range is gone.
And it's just...
It's
flat. It's not EQ flat. It's flat.
Yeah.
It's off-note flat kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, it's still smooth. Like, the vocals are still smooth. It's still got the warmth in the bass. But it was like when we switched to the YouTube video and we were like, oh, there's less dynamic range there, only it's so much worse. It sounds, like... Imagine you're trying to flash a light, but the battery is low, so it can't get to maximum brightness. That's what it's like here. It can't get to the top, you know. It feels like it's running out of oomph when it wants to really hit. So, that's interesting. Yeah. Like, it would be... If we had more time... It would be really interesting to start comparing this motherboard with the AM4 that had the same chipset to see different implementations of the chipset.
Yeah.
However, at face value, the motherboard with shit tier audio sounds bad. With 50 ohm headphones that it should not have difficulty driving. For reference, a standard gaming headset is going to be
32.
I was going to say 30-ish. Yeah. So, standard game set is usually about 30 ohms. Yeah. Certainly 50 should not be a far cry from, you know, you should not have difficulty driving 50 ohms. 250 ohms, this was not a fair test. There was no way in hell this motherboard was going to be able to drive these. However, 50 ohm headphones, this should not be a problem, and yeah, it's not there. It's not as bad as these, but like you said it, you nailed it when you said I would be disappointed.
Yeah.
Same here. They don't sound bad, but they're just underwhelming. If I bought these expecting to get a really nice set of headphones, I would almost go so far as to say that sounds like a gaming headset.
And also just kind of a case of just kind of going, oh, this sounds like the headphones aren't very good.
Yeah. You know, if you had some headphones already and you just swapped out to these and you're like, I'm getting my new headphones, I'm getting an upgrade, I would be thoroughly underwhelmed if I heard that. Yeah. And yeah. However, when we had it plugged into the other interfaces, they sounded drastically better. Yeah. That is what I was. I didn't know if we were going to get that result, but that is a very good result because, like, again, it's difficult to avoid confirmation bias here because we're not. I keep saying bias, confirmation bias. It's difficult to avoid confirmation bias because these are not blind tests. Yeah. However, if you take my word at face value, like personally, there's nothing more that I love than to be able to take an expensive product and be like, this is a waste of money. This doesn't make a difference. I like good value things. So there's nothing more I like than to tear down something that I think is overpriced. But I think... However, at this point, I would be more than happy to turn around and say, like when reviewing a motherboard, look at that audio and be like, this has good audio. It does make a difference. Yeah. You know.
I think the thing that kind of underwhelms the impact of the statement to a degree is the fact that this is like 30 quid.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a case of,
so I guess what would
does
be
it
fun...
particularly matter because this is 30
That's
quid?
true. I guess what would be fun now is if we plug this in and just do another, just plug that in now and then be like, yes, that now sounds better. Because of course
this shouldn't sound any different at all.
That's right. Theoretically, it should sound good again. And at that point, we can then say, okay, so if you do have a motherboard that's got crap onboard audio and you're not made of money, you can buy a cheap Behringer audio interface and immediately get 90% of the quality of the Focusrite, you know. Yeah.
Or, you know, or the
ability to drive high impedance headphones.
Yeah, or you know, like the Crosshair and stuff like that.
At least get up to the mid-range motherboards, because also like there are sometimes you don't get a choice. Like if you're running ITX boards on an ITX motherboard, the audio circuit is the first thing I'd expect them to chop. I haven't looked at audio circuits on ITX motherboards much, but ITX motherboards do not have a lot of space on them.
It depends on which ITX board you're doing.
Yeah.
Because there's two types of ITX board.
Yeah.
The one that's 150 quid or the one that's 700 pounds.
Yeah, this
and
is
that's
true.
it. Those are your options kind of thing.
The 700-pound one probably has a dedicated riser board for audio.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and it needs that dedicated riser board.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Yeah, the kick is back.
Yeah.
And then try these again. Because these have got, again, these are more bass heavy and I'm becoming more accustomed. And I like these more just because I like that bit more bass and we're not EQing this. Left, right, 3.5 mil. Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kick drum and the bass is just sorry, the kick drum and the bass guitar is just a completely different world once you've plugged into an audio interface.
Yeah.
Yeah, like night and day different. So yeah, that, and again, 50 ohm headphones shouldn't be a problem. You know, initially with these, we could say, okay, this was an unfair test. This is not an unfair test, you know. So yeah, crap audio is crap.
Yeah.
I would say in a surprise to no one, but this is what we wanted to find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we hear the difference? Yes, we can.
I expected there to be a much smaller difference from this onwards, just because this is 6th gen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, which is reasonably modern still. And it's obviously a case of we've gone past the stage in the 90s and the early 2000s where you had to use a sound card because the onboard audio would crackle and pop and would hiss all over the place and so on. So it's a case of I just assumed that we would kind of go, there's a bit of a difference, but it's not really worth paying for. But no, there is surprisingly large difference. But I do think the thing that we need to do as a follow-up is compare a modern high-end board and a modern cheap board.
Yeah.
And if we can do with the same audio circuit, with the same actual chip for the audio, 2 different motherboards.
Yeah.
And then go, right, does the build-up of the motherboard actually make the difference? And just see if we've got something that we can do with, obviously, the collection of boards we have here.
Yeah, we could definitely do more there. I'm kind of interested in testing more because we've gotten results here. You know, like, again, I half expected to really struggle to hear the difference. And after that, I would have immediately lost interest in this and just said, it doesn't really make that much difference. If you're driving high impedance headphones, yes, an audio interface is going to actually bring out the benefit of those headphones.
Yeah.
If you're running, you know, like 50 ohm headphones, it's not going to matter very much. You know, certainly it is there. You just have to dig in real deep. It doesn't work very well. There we go. I've gotten really good at pushing that button because I had to do it 50 times in a week. What was I saying? Yeah. Yeah. However, if you've just gone and bought yourself a nice pair of headphones and you're asking yourself the question, can I just plug these into my motherboard, or do I need a decent sound card or a decent audio interface? The answer is yes. Sorry. The answer to that is your motherboard will make a difference. If you have a high-end motherboard, it will be enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, if you don't have a high-end motherboard, it won't be enough.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion here.
Yeah, and I think it's
audio interfaces work, cheap audio interfaces work, high-end motherboards with decent audio do matter.
Yeah, and I think it's to a degree finding that point where there's that crossover.
Yeah.
Just because
finding out how much you need, because like the Gigabyte was an interesting one because it wasn't quite as good on the Beyerdynamics, but it probably would have been completely fine with the Fostex.
I don't know, because I still don't know if that's a motherboard problem, if that makes sense, or a software problem.
Yeah.
Which is because it's difficult to narrow it down, just because obviously the software is what it is, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Which is my kind of secondary point on a lot of this, is just the fact that I find onboard audio software quite annoying a lot of the time. Which is why I then started looking at headphone DACs and stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's given me some food for thought because, where was it? I think it was on the Twitch stream we were talking about sound at some point because, as I say, usually I'm using a Corsair Void USB headset. However, if I'm not on a Discord call, and also when I'm streaming, I'm using my Logitech surround sound speakers. And like obviously those are not a bastion of sound quality, they're Logitech, but it is a 250 watt sound system.
Yeah.
So it's not god awful either.
Yeah.
And I'm just running a single 3.5mm audio cable to that. Yeah. And it had, on stream it came up in conversation, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should hook up the optical cable again, because I do actually use these speakers now.
As far as I'm aware, the Toslink standard only supports uncompressed stereo, and everything else is reasonably highly compressed, because it supports like 100 kilobits a second.
Interesting. So I might not actually get any quality improvement from the optical cable.
The optical cable was not specifically designed to improve the quality of the audio that it's carrying, but for it to be a non-electrical connection for it to be an insulated connection,
so
you didn't get ground feedback loops.
Yeah. So in fact, so what would probably help me more then is just putting a decent line out, a 3.5mm line out cable between the two.
If you have a problem in the first place.
I mean, I don't think I have a problem, but then I don't know. I don't have the speakers loud enough for it to really matter, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if the audio quality went up, I might go, you know, again, when we start getting to the realms of dynamic range and stuff like that, if I actually put in a decent cable, because analog audio, I might actually go, oh, those actually sound a lot nicer. I don't need to have these as loud anymore and stuff like that.
Perhaps, yeah.
So
I don't know.
Food for thought.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a case of it's why, to a degree, also the other reason why we never really saw an update to it was just the fact that HDMI supports a bajillion channels for audio at, you know, a bajillion bits per second sort of thing. So it just kind of rendered it irrelevant, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can do stuff like DTS, surround sound and stuff like that through optical, but it's still a compressed format. Yeah,
I mean, I'm only using it for stereo. I mean, the speakers do support 5.1 DTS surround, but I don't use them for that. I mean, I actually have the speakers in what's the term? It's not quadraphonic. It's quad stereo. So it's just stereo repeated to front and back, and I do that purely for the purposes.
Isn't that quadraphonic?
No,
I thought that was quadraphonic.
Quadraphonic is 4-channel.
Is it?
Can someone confirm that? Because quadraphonic, that's from like the 70s or 80s, I think. Quadraphonic, I think, is actually 4-channel.
Oh, I see. I thought it was twin stereo.
No. However, I'm using quad is 4-channel. Yeah.
I know that quad is 4.
4, yeah. But actually 4 independent channels.
Yeah,
as opposed to twin stereo, where you just have left and right being repeated to the left and right at the backs.
Yeah.
Because that's how I run my speakers at home. Just because that gives me more speakers making the same thing, which gives you, it fills the room better, basically.
Yeah, you need less. If you can run at a lower volume and still hear it, just because you're not having the sound travel from all the way over there, kind of thing.
Because this is the problem with small speakers. You have to turn them up louder because they can't fill the room. And then you have a tiny little speaker shouting at you, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's why computer speakers typically suck, because they're just too small, basically. So yeah. And it's also the problem that soundbars have to an extent, is that soundbars ultimately are small speakers. You know, they are obviously incredible for what they are by modern standards, but they will always be limited versus a set of monitor speakers, just because the monitor speakers have got big old cones on them. You know?
Yeah, just a physical size issue.
Yeah. So yes, it's good. All right. Cool. Well, I think we should wrap up because we're at the 3-hour mark. We have achieved our objective and we've actually got interesting results. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they very much aren't the results I expected. I expected there to be a much smaller difference going from this to those two.
Yeah. I thought, like, when these showed up and we were actually able to test with some quote unquote low impedance headphones, I thought it was all over, and I thought we weren't going to hear any more differences. Yeah. So yeah, the fact that we could hear the difference on the Fostex, I think, was very, very telling. Because the Bear Dynamics, this was an interesting test to prove that if you're running high impedance headphones, you're going to need a decent output to drive them. But that's kind of a surprise to no one, you know, and it's...
Yeah, absolutely, but it's also a case of sometimes it's very good to prove those basics.
This is
just
true.
To be kind of like, this is actually true.
Yeah.
The assumption I have made has actually been verified by data.
Yes, that is true, yeah.
Because
and also just to hear what it sounds like when the headphones are not being driven properly, because you know it's easy to say, oh, that's not going to be able to drive 250 ohm headphones, but I don't know what it's going to sound like. Yeah, you know. Whereas now I've heard what that sounds like. It's one of those things is where you slowly build up that wealth of experience on using computers and using Windows is how you develop the feel of, oh, this is faulty.
this bit of the entire system. Just because you've got the feel of so many devices, you can kind of feel, oh, no, this is a mouse issue.
Yeah.
Or kind of, no, this is a Windows issue. Or, no, the hard drive's failing. And kind of just, you get that feel from a lot of stuff, from using stuff, that it's very difficult to explain to someone afresh.
Yeah.
Because it's, it's the conversation we had 10 years ago about just kind of going, you pick up a laptop that someone brings in, you turn it on, you go, yep, failing hard drive.
Yeah.
And you diagnose it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, it feels very funny.
Yeah.
And then you give it to the work experience and it goes, what's wrong with this? And I'm like,
it's slow. Okay, what kind of slow? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the thing with the audio there as well, is that with the I think one of the things, it's obviously we're having to use flowery language to determine, to explain, to try and describe the sound. But one of the things that I would point out is that when you think about low quality, you often think like bit crushed, where it's going fuzzy because it's a low bit rate. That wasn't really what we were hearing in any of these tests.
No.
Because we were using a high bitrate source.
I should have kept the...
the crushed version from the broken DVD drive. I take it you deleted it.
Oh, yeah, I deleted that.
That was kind of funny.
I should have kept that and then kept the other one just so people could actually hear what that difference and just kind of...
Yeah, maybe. I think that would only be interesting if we actually understood what had happened to that rip. Because that's the thing, is we don't actually know what was wrong with that. All we knew was that it sounded bad. It sounded like it was bit crushed into the Stone Age. It sounded like a Game Boy Advance was trying to play it.
Yeah. And I imagine it was because the error correction in the software was trying to make up for the drive.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of missing information.
But just interesting.
Yeah. Very well. Yeah. Right. Good. That's the end of the stream.
I think so.
I think I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say it's been very good.
Yeah, very good. All right. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, was this interesting? I thought it was kind of interesting. It's a shame it took us an hour and a half to get to the meat and potatoes of it, but that's what we always do. It takes us a while to get going. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Convenience is king with audio. Yeah, I do still agree with that.
Yeah, for an awful lot of it, absolutely. But it is also just a case of kind of, it's very nice to have been able to prove an awful lot of what we've been kind of saying about stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And Nikolai, thanks again for the gifts. They're really cool. Very happy with those. Very cool. Right, we're going to get out of here then. We'll be back. We won't be back next week because it'll be Christmas. So yeah,
excuse me.
I'm not streaming on Christmas Eve. So yeah, we won't be back next week. So have a nice Christmas, everyone, I guess. We'll be back then the week after that is New Year's weekend, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. It will be Saturday the 31st. So yeah, it'll be New Year's night. Yeah, we're probably not going to be about for 2 weeks then in that case, because I'm probably, I think I'm at a party on New Year's. So yeah, I won't be one way or the other. I won't be about. So I think we're going to take a break for a couple of weeks. Something else might appear. If it does, then I will put it on the Twitter because I forgot to tweet today. However, I'm doing the Adamant IT Twitter. Have we got a Twitter command? We're about to find out. Failing that, it'll be on the Discord. So don't forget the Discord. And as always, I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow, 7 PM UK time. And it will be more Elden Ring, because that's my life now. I'm an Elden Ring streamer. So yeah, excellent. That's everything. I am going.
I don't feel so good.
Right, bye everyone. See you all soon.
Goodbye.
Doodle pips.
Where's the button?
It's here. Now would be a good time to insert ads. No. End stream. Bye.
Goodbye.